Getting reincarnated. What just happened? A soul was floating around in a dark space trying to figure out where he was. Did I die? He looks down at his non-existent feet and starts crying. Finally. I'm finally away from that hell. Thank you God for killing me. Thank you. He said in between sobs without noticing that someone is watching him. It's okay my child. A voice boomed and the boy stopped crying and looked up to see a man with white robes in front of him. Hey, are you God? God. Yes, that's right, Jason. I truly am sorry for how your life has been. Jason looks at him, no trace of the crying boy from earlier. Jason, it's okay. At least I died. God looks at him with a sad smile at his words. No child should be wishing for death. God, kid. I've decided to reincarnate you in any world you want with a few wishes. What do you say? Jason looks up. Jason, can I think for a bit? God, of course, take all the time you need. 2 hours later. Jason, okay, I think I know the perfect world for me. God, okay, tell me and I shall grant your wish. Jason, I want to be reincarnated in Akame Ga Kill, as an heir to a hidden assassin clan. You can have them die anytime though it's just for my background. God, done, now the wishes. Jason, I want to have the blade of Tathagata as my taigu. God, done anything else. Jason, I want to always be able to break through my limits and become stronger. God, what? Jason, what I mean is if I'm training and can't do 100 push-ups then I will break my limits and will be able to do it easily. God, okay, I get what you mean. Jason, I also want to have unnatural regeneration, nothing too crazy, just something along the lines of Wolverine regeneration. God, okay, done. Is there anything else? Jason, one more, I want to be able to manipulate the elements like the Avatar without a teacher. I just want it to be natural to me. God, okay, it's all done. Have a good second life, hopefully you live past 13 this time. With those words a flash of light enveloped the boy. God, such a sad thing to happen to a kid. In a cave near the north. In a cave north of the Empire there were 12 people waiting to hear the news of the heir to the Akira clan, a clan of deadly assassins capable of bending certain elements to their will. Guys, it's a healthy baby boy. Everyone cheers and smiles and starts celebrating. Congratulations Kanari, you have a son, haha. Kanari, yeah, I can't believe my luck, hopefully he can bend all 4 elements like me. Kanari. A man with bloody hands comes up screaming to Kanari. Kanari, it's Mizu, she won't survive this birth, you need to say your goodbyes. Kanari drops the cup he was drinking from and went with the man. Kanari. Mizu. He runs and holds her in his arms crying. Mizu. Ha, don't be such a big softie. Just take care of our child, okay? His name is Jason, Jason Akira. With those words her eyes started to lose light and the last thing she saw in this world was the person she loved the most crying and begging her not to go. There was only silence in the room until they all heard the bawling of a baby boy. Kanari looks over at his new son and picks him up. Kanari, shish, daddy's here. Don't worry, the whole clan is our family and we have our allies the Patras who will help us out. The baby just stared at him before falling asleep in his father's arms. When the father was doting over his son there was a flash of light and out dropped a plain-looking sword. Kanari, what is this? A taigu. He gives his son to one of the clan members and tries to pick up the floating sword, but when he grabs the hilt his whole arm is enveloped. Kanari, ah. Damn it, my arm. Then much to Kanari's terror the sword gloats to his son and disappears. As he is getting wrapped up he looks over at his son who is still asleep. I can't wait to see what you become. 5 years later. 2 people are running after a small lizard-type danger beast, one girl with blue hair looking around 8 years old, and a boy with white hair around 5 years old. The boy extends his hand and a sword comes into it and he swiftly slashes the lizard's head off. Jason. Haha, I win big sis S death. Yes, that's right, the boy was Jason who was reincarnated in this world by God. S death. Whatever, if we fought you would still lose. Jason. Geez, again with the dumb, if you are weak you're nothing speech. S death. Hey. Father told me that's how the world works, if you are weak you die, it's that simple. Jason. Uncle Patras seems to be teaching you dumb things. My father says it doesn't matter if you are weak if you have a family willing to fight with you. S death. Yeah, whatever. It's getting dark, I need to go back. Jason. Okay, bye. Jason yells to S death as she is already running, then he stops smiling and looks serious. According to my research then the Patras clan will be slaughtered in 4 years and I am guessing that's the same time God decides to kill the Akira clan. So my only problem is if Ni should go with S death or do something else for a while. As Jason is thinking, there is someone watching him from above waiting for the perfect moment to pounce, and they decide it's now. Jason is still thinking when he hears yelling from above and his dad lands on him and pins him to the ground. Kanari. Haha, you need to be more aware of your surroundings, Jason. Jason. Haha, what do you mean, Dad? I won. Jason says, and the moisture from the leaves in the forest rushed to Kanari's neck and turned to an ice point. Kanari. Ha ha ha, my son, you are getting better at water, soon you will be able to do a different element. Jason. Yeah. I can't wait. Jason says to him with a smile, I only 4 more years with you, so I'll play along, father. They both get up and start walking back to their clan hideout, talking about their days. Hope you enjoy this fanfic. This is my second one and I'll be writing it along with the Syn system, so go check that out. Hope you like this new series. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 24 comments, 0 vote. Coming of age. In the middle of a forest there was a boy sitting in a cross-legged position with his eyes closed, seemingly focusing on something. For the Akira tribe it was important to be able to sense the energies in the air. Jason was doing just that and he was getting really good at it. Jason. I can feel you, Dad. Kanari, trying to sneak up behind him, was surprised by getting spotted. Kanari. Haha, oh, is that so? Wow, I was even hiding my presence and he still felt me. Jason opened his eyes and got up. Jason. So. Is it finally time? Kanari. Yes, son, for your 7th birthday you will finally become a man. It had been 7 years since Jason had gotten in this world and he had been learning the Akira clan techniques for over 2 years now, and it's time for his coming of age ceremony. Kanari. Okay, son, follow me. They go deeper into the forest, occasionally killing a danger beast, until finally reaching an area with 12 other people wearing different masks were waiting. Kanari. Good luck, son. Kanari leaves since he can't participate in the ceremony, and Jason pays attention to the elders first. Elder 1. Boy. Are you ready for your trial? Jason. Yes, Elder. When he yells, the others all rush to him. This part of the trial is to test his combat ability and also test if he can hold in his killing intent. Jason dodges the first one and elbows him on the back of the neck, then uses one of the Akira techniques to take the others. Akira Earth style. Bear trap. He yells and the earth responds to his will, slamming down on the other's ankles. Elder 1 and 2. Very good. Elder 1. Now here is your real target. You have 1 month to kill them and come back. Failure to do so will get you kicked out of the clan. Do you understand? Jason. Yes, Elder. Elder 1. Good, here you go. The elder gives him the target's information and also a generic dog mask, and Jason sets out to go kill his target. In a small village. In a cafe there is a fat man using 2 men as chairs while fondling a girl who has lifeless eyes without resisting. Man. Oh, don't you think today is a beautiful day? When the girl doesn't answer after a while, he immediately slaps her and throws her off, pinning her to the ground. Man. Girl. Don't test me, you think I won't take what's mine right here. As all this is going on, Jason is sitting at a table watching the interaction. Jason. Poor girl. Don't worry, it will all be over soon. Later that day there were screams coming from a small house. Man. Ha ha ha. Girl. Ah. When the man is finished with the girl, he throws her off and tells her to wash up, then proceeds to get ready for bed. Man. Ah, it really is a wonderful day. The man was cut off by the world turning upside down. Jason. For your crimes God has judged you. Rest in pieces. Jason sheathes his sword and grabs the head of the man and prepares to go out, but gets stopped by the girl who saw the interaction. Girl. Wait, please take me with you. I'm the prime suspect and they will kill me. Jason looks at her through the mask. Jason. Why should I? The girl just stays silent and looks at him with teary eyes. Girl. I promise I will be useful. Just please don't leave me here. She begs and cries, asking him to take her. Jason. Sigh, fine, I'll take you, but you need to earn your keep, and if you betray me you die. Just remember, your life belongs to me, and I can take it away if I want. He gets the girl dressed and starts to walk before he realizes something. Jason. What's your name? Girl. Me. My name is Elizabeth, after my grandmother. Jason. Okay, Elizabeth, from now on you are my maid. Elizabeth. Yes, master. She says while bowing her head. Jason. I wonder how Esteth will react. They walk along the road back to report his kill. 1 week later. Jason is walking with Elizabeth. Over this week he had learned quite a few things about her. She was originally the daughter of a maid in the capital until they were sold as slaves. The fat man used her mother until he noticed that Elizabeth had started growing and started using her also. He had only been doing it for 2 weeks, but in those 2 weeks were terrible for her. Jason had to calm her down when she started crying. He had asked where her mother was, but she said that she was sold back to the capital. Jason had told her a few things but nothing to secret just in case the elders didn't allow her to stay, which was unlikely since he brought her, but you can never be too careful. They were finally reaching the forest when he told her to stay close to him. They walked through the forest until they came to the same spot he was 2 weeks ago. Elder 1. Ah, Jason, I see you're back. Who see this girl? Jason. Yes, Elder, I have completed my assassination, and the girl was a slave of the target. She would have gotten blamed for it if she was left there, so I decided to bring her here to be my maid. The others were shocked, but the Elder just smiled. Elder 1. Very well. Now that you have finished your assassination, you are officially a part of the clan Akira. Now girl, please step forward. Elizabeth steps forward, kinda scared of what's happening. Elder 1. Do you swear to serve Jason to the best of your ability until you or he dies? Elizabeth then without hesitation agrees. Elder 1. Good, Sarah will take you to get cleaned up and she will also be your combat instructor. If you're going TK serve, you must know how to fight also. Elizabeth. Thank you, Elder. Elizabeth then goes and follows the red-haired women gesturing to her. Elder 1. Meet back at the hideout for your official initiation, Jason. With those words everyone went back to the hideout. That night, Jason was kneeling in front of the Elder and both the Akira clan and Patras clan were there to see his initiation. The Elder then told him to lift his head and handed him a mask and cloak. Elder 1. With these we give you the codename Bloody Secret. May you slaughter thousands of people with this name. The crowd started cheering and everyone celebrated. Elizabeth. Congratulations, Master. Esteth. Yeah, congratulations, but who's she? Jason. She is my new maid. She is a couple of years older than you, but I hope you get along. They both look at each other, then turn away and start eating. What's that about? Jason finally goes to bed, but before he sits down he calls his sword. Cutting into the wall he says, only 2 more years with them, huh? He then dispels it and goes to sleep. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Please write a review and also check my other fanfic, The Sin System. Creation is hard. Cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 10 comments, 0 vote. Unexpected turn of events, eradication. In a ring of stone stood 2 people, a 14-year-old girl, and a 9-year-old boy. They were both fighting each other for their training. This is so unfair. I've only been training for a couple years, Elizabeth said, already sweating after their short training. Jason smiled as he jumped in the air. This will help you get better quicker, so just fight. Jason replied to her plight and immediately threw his dagger straight at her. Elizabeth barely dodged and rushed to him with an axe kick. When she thought she hit him, he grabbed her leg and threw her to the ground, smirking at his obvious win. Elizabeth sighed and relaxed as Jason smirked at her. Fine, you win, asshole. She said as she wiped her forehead. He let go of her and helped her up. Don't worry about it, I've been training for a while, plus I can't get tired. Jason had noticed that God had went above and beyond with his wishes. His healing factor is so quick it's like he didn't even get cut. This also went with his stamina. Each time he even started to sweat, it would automatically go back to its prime state. And his elemental manipulation was off the charts. He just had to think about what he wanted them to do and it did it. Not to mention the blade of TheGodSage, which even a casual swipe is sharp enough to cut a mountain if he wanted. All in all, he was sure he could hold his own against most opponents right now, but he isn't sure about other Taigu yet. Anyway, after he washed up, he got ready to go hunt with Esteth. We met in the middle of our territory and I saw Esteth sitting with nothing but a spear. Won't you get cold? She looks up at me and smiles. In case you haven't noticed, we live in the north where it is always snowing. I think I'm fine. Jason shrugged and they began walking deeper into the forest talking about events. The clan hunt is in a few weeks and Daddy says I'm finally old enough to come with. Jason nodded and put his hands above his head. I wish I could come, but my dad is too much of a sun con to let me do anything too dangerous. I usually have to sneak out to go on assassinations. Esteth laughs and just looks at Jason with a smile. You should just sneak out and come with us. I'm sure Dad wouldn't mind. Jason put his hand on his chin as if thinking of something and nodded. Okay, it's in a few weeks, right? That's right. It's already been 2 years. The clans will probably be wiped out soon. Jason sighed, alerting Esteth to think something was wrong, though he said it was nothing. Death looks at him skeptically but shrugs it off. Quit looking at me. Once Jason says that he jumps in the air and manipulates it to fly him up to a higher altitude to see any danger beast. He spots a lion type and uses an original move. Original. Rocket Slam. The air pushes him down towards the beast and Jason slashes down with his sword and SWIFLTY kills it. Jason. That's one. Death. Haha, I already have 7 slowpoke. Death yells back and Jason widens his eyes and begins hunting as fast as he could. Back at the Akira hideout. Kanari. Elizabeth, are you ready? Elizabeth. Yes, I am. But shouldn't Jason know about this? Kanari. No. He has gotten too friendly with that Death girl, he would probably join their side. Elizabeth. Okay. This doesn't seem right. The rest of the clan is already outside when they walk out. Kanari. Remember everyone. Don't leave a single one of those Patras filth alive. They all cheer and start running toward the Patras camp. Patras Chief Pav. Today Death went hunting with the Jason boy. Maybe we should set up a marriage for them all talk about with Kanari later. Pav end. As he is thinking of future events with a smile, a clansman runs into the tent yelling. Clansman. Chief. It's the Patras clan, they're attacking and out people are getting slaughtered. The chief immediately jumps up and grabs his spear. Chief. Damn it, Kanari, you scheming bastard. With those words he rushes out and engages in combat. Back in the forest, Death has Jason pinned down. If they knew better, this would be a sexual position, but alas, they were too young to know of such things. Death. Haha, I won, so you deserve a punishment. Jason. What? I thought the punishment was carrying everything back. Death. That was before you tried to get out of it, now let's see. Oh, I know, from now on you have to help me wash up when I'm bathing. Death says with a cheeky smile. Jason. What? Death. Geez, I meant purely bathing, you have a dirty mind, Jason. As they get up and start going back to their respective clan territory, Jason feels something is wrong. Jason. Hey, I'm gonna go back ahead, see you tomorrow. He then rushes forward without hearing her answer. Death. Daddy said that there's a possibility for us to get married. If that happens, I need to make sure I'm above him in the relationship. Death thinking that doesn't notice the small blush on her cheeks and she rushes to go back home also. Pav Jason. When I got near the hideout, I could hear cheering and everyone celebrating as I walk in. Hey guys, did something happen? I ask, still having that feeling that something is wrong. Jason. They yell and rush forward and I smell the booze on them and blood. Wait, let's think this through. We are an assassin clan, so of course we smell like blood. I then look over at Elizabeth and I could automatically tell something bad happened before my dad hugs me and starts saying, Jason, we got rid of one of our biggest competitors today. He says happily. Oh yeah, who? I say, the feeling getting worse. Then my father smiles even wider. Those damn Patras clan. Pav end. Jason looks shocked as he hears that. Jason, why would you do that? What about Death? Kanari. Who cares? She will grow up fine without her. Jason clenches his fists in anger and looks toward Elizabeth. Elizabeth notices his gaze and shakes her head, indicating that she didn't know until it was too late. Jason relaxes, then gives a calm smile. Jason. Sorry everyone, I'm a little tired right now, good night. They bid him good night and then he drags Elizabeth to his room and shuts the door. Jason, I want you to gather all your belongings and then leave for a few minutes, then come back, understand? Elizabeth, having an idea what he's planning to do, widens her eyes but then nods and goes to do what he said. Jason waits and gathers his stuff in a small backpack and then calls his sword to his hand and walks out of his room. He comes back and see everyone still drinking and laughing like nothing is wrong. Akira fire style. Fireball. He flings a large fireball while simultaneously slicing another group. There were screams as he killed all the people he grew up with until it was just him and his heavily injured dad. Kanari. Jason. Why are you doing this? We're family. Jason looks at his dad with hate before walking out. Jason. We aren't family. And you're not my father. Original Earth style. Tomb of the Dead. The walls shake and they fall down, burying all the clan members. Goodbye, Akira clan. When he walks a bit away, he sees Elizabeth standing there. Elizabeth. Did you? Jason. Yes. Now come on, we need to see if Death is alright. They walk for a while and eventually reach the camp of Patras. They then see Death wearing nothing but her usual clothes and a long shawl walking towards their direction. Jason. Death, I'm sorry, Death interrupts him with a smile. Death. What are you talking about? They died because they're weak, it's their own fault. She walks past Jason and Elizabeth. Jason. Do you need anything? Death. I'll be fine. Maybe we can see each other in the future. Death says without even turning around and continues walking away. Elizabeth. Master. Where will we go now? Jason looks at her and smiles. Jason, we will train for a few years, then we'll go on to the capital and try to get some jobs. Sound like a plan? Elizabeth just nods and they walk in the opposite direction of Death. The writing is like this for a while. This was my first ever FIC. I think in 2 to 3 chaps is when it stops being like that dialogue. I tried to edit some. But I'm a lazy fuck lols. Hope you like the chapter. Please leave a review on how you think things are so far and also check out the Syn system. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 30 comments, 0 vote. Pissed. Download the app for additional rewards. More events, more perks. Winning you more free perks. Download now. TheGodSage. Download app now. The Crow's the bastard. I'm going to be doing first person from now on. It's been 2 years since I've killed my family. At first Liz didn't know how to talk to me anymore, but she got over it. We've been moving a lot, killing targets and even stealing from people that looked rich enough. We had decided that we would go to the capital in 2 more years. That means I have at least 7 years until plot. What's for dinner? Liz asks as she comes in the cave. You're the women. Figure it out, I say before I have to dodge a knife. Bastard. She throws another knife at me, which I just stop in midair and throw it down. I've been training my bending and am able to bend metal now. It also seems God added an extra skill with my sword. I have a sword domain, and in the domain I can cut anything. Right now my domain is only about 4 feet, but with more training it should be bigger soon. We should go to that village today, Liz says, bringing me out of my thoughts. Why? She blushes and looks away, and no reason. I eye her skeptically, then it clicks. Holy crap. You have a crush. I yell and she gets redder. Shut up, idiot. She says, throwing more knives at me. I'll just go myself. Okay, have fun then, I say and leave the cave. At least it seems she is getting over her trauma. Well, she is 17, so it makes sense for her to fall in love. I continue walking around the forest for a while until I feel someone is watching me. I make a casual gesture like I'm wiping my forehead and then throw a knife towards their direction. Get him. Around 10 people pop out of the trees along with the one that I hit with the knife. Who are you guys? I say uninterestedly. We are the Crows, a man in the front says, and they all pose. We heard that the last member of the Akira clan was spotted to be somewhere around here. Well, I don't see anyone around here. I smile and manipulate Earth to slowly capture them. Don't try to hide it, Reaper. Oh yeah, because I had been still killing people, it came to me gaining a new nickname. Since I didn't care about people seeing my face, I was quite known around this side of the world. Yeah, whatever. What do you want? He straightens out his body, then they all kneel, much to my surprise. Lord. Please take these unworthies to be your disciples. I gawk at them. What the hell do you mean disciples? I yell at them. Lord. We have been trying to come into contact with you for several months now. Everyone here is someone that had their life changed for the because of you killing people. Like me, my mother beat me every day, but I was too cowardly to leave. But you came and killed her. You have my forever loyalty. Okay, I'm starting to get what's going on here. I sigh and walk forward to him and place my hand on his shoulder. I'll give you a test. Kill one person and bring back their heads. Once you've done that, I will let you follow me. You have 1 week. I yell to them and they all jump up except for the guy the first hit earlier. Sorry about that here. I use the water healing technique to heal the knife wound. There, now go do your mission. He immediately gets up, bows and runs away. 1 week later. I was laying down enjoying my rest when I heard noise from the entrance to the cave. I walk out and see Liz fighting with the Crows, as they like to call themselves. Liz was dominating them using every technique she could. She didn't kill them yet, but it was obvious she was going to later. As I watch Liz about to go in for the kill, I yell, stop. She stops and walks slowly backward, questioning my order. Okay guys, since you've completed that mission, you are now my disciples. I guess. When I say those words, they brighten up and some of them even start crying. Thank you, Lord. Stop calling me that, just say Jason. Yes, Lord Jason. Sigh. I look back to Liz, who is looking at me questioningly, and I explain the situation. Oh, I see, well, I need to get back to the village. I have a date, she says and looks right at me. Okay, good luck. 5 months later. I'm training with the Crows division. Yes, that's right, a number of other individuals have come seeking me. They could only find me due to me staying in one place for so long. There are 2 divisions, the Crows and the Panthers. The crows are the ones who do sneak kills, while the panthers use gruesome methods and don't care about stealth to kill their target. Anyway, as I was training with them, I noticed Liz come back, which surprised me as she usually stays all day with her boyfriend who I couldn't bother to learn his name. What surprised me even more, however, was her obvious red eyes as if she had just been crying. I stop the training and follow her into the cave. What happened? She turns around and then wipes her eyes. It's nothing. She tries to walk back out, but I catch her arm. Then why would you cry if it was nothing? She looks right in my eyes and then starts crying again. He cheated on me. She says, bawling her eyes out. What? He cheated on me with some noble girl who is visiting the village, she continues crying. I see. Get some rest. I walk out of the cave. Guys, when I say this, everyone shows up kneeling in front of me. We strike tonight. Don't let those nobles keep their lives. Later that night, I'm walking through the village hearing the screams of the guards of the noble girl. Please don't hurt me, I am sorry. A girl with brown hair and a dirty dress yells as one of the men is about to kill her. Wait. Everyone stops and the girl looks at me as if I'm her savior. Take her to the cave. Liz should be the one to kill her. Yes, Aniki, he says and grabs the girl and runs back. Yes, they all started calling me Aniki even though most of them are older than me. I walk through a certain door and see a man about 20 hiding. Hello. Hey, are you here to help the village? He asks hopefully. Well, it depends. Do you know a girl named Elizabeth? He widens his eyes and starts shaking. Wait please, I'm sorry, I love her, I didn't mean to cheat. Those were the last words he said before I cut his tongue out of his mouth. Don't say you love her, bastard. He looks at me with fear. Damn it, you aren't even worth my time to kill. I suddenly smile evilly. Here, this is a gift. I slice his legs off and burn the stumps. Now you can live your life as a worthless cripple. I walk out ignoring his screams. Let's go. I yell and we all run, leaving a burning mark in the ground. When we get back to the cave, I can hear screaming in the cave and I know that Liz is torturing the girl noble. Sigh, maybe this is a bit too far. I then walk inside the cave and see the noble girl bloody and disfigured. Liz is still cutting her and punching her until I grab her hand. That's enough. She looks at me like she wants to argue, but decides against it. Thank you, master. Guys, get this body out of here. I then turn back my attention to Liz. Do you feel better? Yeah. Don't worry, there are plenty of fish in the sea, I'm sure you'll find someone. I then smile and walk out to leave her to her thoughts. All right, our organization is coming along nicely. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. In the next chapter I'm going to have Pov for some of it. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 10 comments, 0 vote. Death side fighting the demons. Third Pov on Death side. A 13-year-old girl causing havoc on the front lines made everyone in the capital interested in Death. Right now the reports of her taking down most of the enemy soldiers was very famous in the capital. Not everyone knew it, but she was already back in the capital kneeling in front of the emperor and the minister. Very well done, Death. As a reward we shall give you 10,000 gold coins. I don't know what they use for money, so I'm doing gold, silver and bronze coins, and a wish of your choice. Death seems to be contemplating. In that case, may I go back to the front lines? She says with a sadistic smile and a twinkle in her eyes. Honest looks surprised that she would want to go back, but gets over, if that's what you wish then so be it. And there have been more proposals waiting for you. Honest has noticed that she is already one of the strongest people in the empire, and his plan is to get her to marry a noble so she would be directly tied to the empire. If it's those nobles again, then tell them no, she says before bowing once again and walking away. Death. One day I will control you. Honest thinks before turning to the emperor, who is bouncing his 5-year-old son on his knee. Emperor. What do you think about promoting Death into a general? The emperor turns to Honest. Go ahead and do whatever you want, I want to play with my son. Honest smiles. Yes, your majesty. Outside the capital, a certain blue-haired girl is eating food while preparing to leave for the front lines. Marriage, huh? A certain white-haired boy flashes into her mind. Jason. I hope you are doing well. She clenches her fist and gets on the horse and heads for the front lines. Jason's Pov. Right now I'm listening to a report by the crows. Aniki, 2 of our men have been slaughtered near the south, and all patrols we have sent never come back. I think for a bit south is where the path of peace is. Could they already be starting the experiments for Rakshasa demons? I'll go personally and scout the area for a week. Tell Liz I'm going out. You know she hasn't left her room since the incident. She might need someone close to her to comfort her. You know. Like a little brother. I get what you mean. I sigh. Okay, I'll tell her and then leave. You're all dismissed. I then head to Liz's room and walk in without knocking. I see her laying on her side and not acknowledging that someone is here. I place a dagger at her throat. You should be more aware of your surroundings. She doesn't even blink. Do it. Sigh, what's wrong with you? She looks at me and I can tell she's been crying for a while. I tortured someone. And I liked it. I liked hearing her scream. I think I'm a monster. She screams and cries again. Damn, if you're a monster then I'm a demon. You're an assassin, you have to get used to this kind of stuff. I'm leaving on a mission. If you're not back to your normal self by the time I get back then you're off the team, I say and walk away. I then start my travel to the south using wind to boost me and make me go faster. In the south. Prowling the city and trying not to look suspicious, I feel someone looking at me. I don't look around because that would be a dead giveaway that I know they are there, so I calmly walk to the exit of the city and goes a ways away before turning around and seeing 4 kids around 15 looking at me. You're strong, we can smell if on you. I'm not sure if I should be flattered or not. After we beat you I'll use you as my toy for when I'm bored. The girl with blonde hair and green eyes says to me while wriggling around. Toy. Yeah, you know. Like sex. I am visibly confused at this point. What's sex? They all look at me dumbly as if I said something wrong. Is this something that's common knowledge? I killed my dad before he could teach me anything advanced. I'll need TK study this later. Never mind, just come at me. I say and summon Elias an. I'm going to be calling the blade of TheGodSage Elias from now on. It means mercy in Greek for those that want to know. They all rush forward and attack me. Lame. I jump in the air boosted by air and send a simple fireball at them. They dodge it and look at me, a taigu. I just smile and go down on top of one of the guys' heads. I won't kill amateurs like you. But I will beat you, I say before using a reinforced fist to hit the back of his neck and hop off. Wow, you knocked him out. The black-haired girl says lazily. I widen my eyes as I feel killing intent from behind me, barely dodging the spikes coming out from his body. What the hell? I mutter before having to dodge another attack. Haha, we can do weird stuff with our bodies. We barely pass the first experiment. After we kill you we will do the second, the blonde says before the larger guy rushes at me with nothing but his fist. Damn, I forgot about their bodies. Akira sword style. 10x/. I say calmly and attack him. He falls down surprised at how I can cut him. What is that sword? He says before getting cut again, courtesy to my sword domain. Hee, I think it's a taigu, guys, let's kill him and bring it back. At these words they all agree and rush at me all at once. Akira blood style. Puppet. They freeze and then start to move in a strange manner like puppets. What the hell? How are you controlling us? They all question in surprise and I unsummon my sword. Well, that was fun, but you guys are too weird, I say before controlling their blood to rush to their heads, making them fall unconscious. Phew, thank goodness the limit break hit or I would have been in trouble, I say before gathering them up and putting them by the entrance to the city and running away. Time skip. I finally make it back to our hideout after 2 weeks and am greeted with Liz serving my meals and going on missions. It seems she has gotten over what happened and decided to look ahead. I should set her UO with someone, him maybe Lubbock or Susano. I'm called out of my thoughts by Liz walking in my room and kneeling on the floor. Master, I've taken care of 12 of the 14 targets that we got this week, she states. Good job, Liz, I'm proud. Did you get over what happened earlier? She smiles. Yeah, I realized that I was being childish. After all, I have a younger brother to take care of now. Yeah, okay, that's good. Now I need your help with something. What's sex? She widens her eyes and has a very small blush on her face. Why are you asking? I encountered something on my mission and it seems this is something that most people know about, so I wanted to learn as well. She just nods at my words. I see. Well, sex is when a man and a woman. She then explains sex to me and I have to say I feel enlightened, so that's HIW babies are made. Yeah, how did you think they were made? Incubation chambers, I say stoically. I don't know what that is, but that isn't how they're made, no. Okay, that's all I really wanted to know, thanks for the explanation. She bows and walks out of the room. I should try it sometime. I say to myself and head to sleep. Just so you guys know, Mick is an artificial human and was trained to be the perfect assassin in his old life. They rewarded kills with different things and that's how he learned about anime and emotions. The only time he felt real emotion is when he was dead and happy that he died. Which will be explained in later chapters after Mick matures more. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. The GodSage creator's thoughts. 10 comments, 0 vote. Helping honest, a mission. Screams. That's all anyone could hear coming from the village. It's been a year since I met the demons and I've spent every minute learning as much as I could. I already knew it, but it still sucks to learn that the lab brainwashed me into learning things related to killing only. Once I learned about sex, I tried to learn anything I came across, even different languages. That's how I got here to this village, killing all its inhabitants. I already know that they're innocent, but I needed to know how this world worked, and these people were my sacrifice for knowledge. Please don't kill us. My daughter is only 4, please have merc. The lady didn't get to finish before I cut off her head. Sorry. I won't kill your daughter, so rest in peace. I didn't feel anything as I cut down all the men and women. I left the children that didn't fight back, since even I don't want to kill kids. Aniki, did you learn what you needed to? One of the eagles, a new division in our ranks, asked me. Yeah. I've learned that I am a monster. I then dispel Ilios and walk away. Make sure these kids have everything they need to live. Without another word, I vanish, leaving them to deal with it. Ha. Just wait, Aniki, we'll put you in your place. Unknown to me, this is what every eagle was thinking at the moment. I continue running toward the hideout, occasionally running into a danger beast. I feel something's wrong. I got the answer to my feeling in the form of a bloody soldier falling in front of me. I look forward and see 3 danger beasts attacking a wagon that looks like it comes from the nobles. The bloody soldier looks at me with desperate eyes. Please help. He says and dies right there. Sigh, fine. I take out Ilios and swipe forward, cutting off the heads of all 3 danger beasts and then dispel it. As I'm getting ready to leave again, I'm stopped by a fat man yelling, wait. I stop and look at the man who I remember from the anime as Honest. What the hell do you want? He looks shocked at first but then puts on a smile. I can tell. You are an assassin, right? I just nod in reply and gesture for him to continue. I have people that I need killed. I'm sure that I can give you a good sum for your services. I think about it first. I didn't really like his character, but then again, I'm worse trash than he is. Who do you need dead? And payment first. His smile widens. Well, there are 2 people I need dead, but the first will set up for the second, and I'm sure I can find someone else for the second. The one I want you to kill is the Empress, he says and throws a bag of money to me. You can kill her and there is your money, or you can run away with the money. I don't care, but I hope you do kill her. She's in the next town over, he says and walks back. I vanish from my place. The Empress. Does he think I'm that easy? But for this amount of money, it's the least I could do. I smile and head back to hideout to put THW money away and leave without saying a word to anyone. A little while later. I put on my wolf mask and watch the women engage in sexual activities with her guards. I think this is what they call a slut. I think to myself. I wait for a while for them to finish and she goes out to bathe and jump down near the baths without making any noise. She gets in. Ah, this is nice. I miss my little boy though. She then jumps up and turns to see me standing there. Ha, I knew someone was watching me. You need to learn to hide your killing intent. I just look up and down. You know, if I were older I would find you attractive, but you're just a grandma right now. I then summon Elias and lunge at her. She barely dodges and a gun appears in her hand. Guards. She yells as she fires at me. I simply redirect the bullet to the side and use the water to restrain her. I would say sorry, but I can't be bothered to do so. And with those words I cut down at her neck as I feel someone enter my domain. I just slice them one after another. Useless, 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 I mutter as they keep trying to kill me. I look at the mess I've caused and carve the mark of the organization in the ground. A snake with wings if you wanted to know, and then turn and run away from the scene. Back to the hideout. When I reach the hideout I immediately know something is wrong and I sneak around looking for anyone. Haha. You're the only crow stupid enough to actually be loyal to that bastard. I saw everything he's done over these months. It's just constant killing for him. Even with his sword there is no mercy. If that's not a monster then I don't know what would qualify as one. All the rest of the crows and the others have all joined our side except for you and Elizabeth. So unfortunately you both need to die. The man I know to be Michael gestures to another crow and they bring in Liz. You'll regret this. He'll be here soon, then you are all dead. Michael just slaps her across the mouth. Shootoop. You're just his little plaything. He probably uses your body when he's feeling lonely in bed. Stupid slut. He swings a dagger towards her throat but notices his entire arm is missing. Ah. I stand behind him with his arm. If you wanted to have a rebellion I wouldn't have cared, but you decided you wanted to kill my maid. I can't forgive that. I slice downward killing him and run to the rest of the group and quickly slash and kill them all simultaneously, burning their bodies. It's all over. I turned towards Sora, the only crow that didn't betray him. And let him free. Sora, from now on I release you from service. Let's go, Liz. Me and Liz both vanish in front of the still shocked Sora. Master, what do we do now? I turn toward her as we're running. What do you think of joining the capital as officers? She looks shocked and then smiles. Yeah. I might be able to see Mom again. Then it's decided after my birthday tomorrow we will head out to the capital. Oh yes, happy 13th birthday, Master. Haha, thanks. I say before we speed up to find shelter for the night. In the imperial capital. Honest. The emperor yells out as a fat man comes into the throne room. Irie was murdered. Where were you? I am deeply sorry for your loss, Emperor. But I'm more sorry for your son. Hell yeah. He lost his mom. The emperor shouts, realizing that he should talk to his son. Yes, and his father. The emperor widens his eyes as he is swiftly shot through the head from behind. Goodbye, your majesty. Honest then brings the emperor to his throne and sits him there and gesturing the assassin leave. Guards. The emperor has been assassinated. Honest yells out, I thank you, young assassin. If I ever see you again I shall have a proposal for you. Honest smiles slightly as the guards run into the room searching for any evidence from the emperor's assassination. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 9 comments, 0 vote. In the capital, Officer Liz. Okay, quick author note for people who might be confused as the timeline isn't specified. Right now Armik is 13 and there is 5 years until canon. Liz is 19 years old, Death is 15 years old. Right now Najanda just betrayed the Empire and they just finished the forest trial 5 months ago, so Akame's team will be alive right now, but I don't know any of their names so I will just make some up. Enjoy the chapter. Dash 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 dash. Halt. A guard says to me and Liz, first time in the capital. He asks, looking us up and down with his eyes lingering around Liz. Yes, me and my little brother have always dreamed of coming to the capital and making it big, so here we are, Liz says with a smile to the guard. The guard blushes. Yes, you guys go ahead, haha, he says and motions for the people to open the gates. I guess this is what security is like when your emperor has just been killed, I say nonchalantly. Yeah, where should we go? Find a place for rent first and then enlist, I tell her and we look around. We find an okay place to stay in for a month or 2 until we are allowed to own homes and we head to enlist. Sorry kid, unless you want to volunteer to go to the front lines then we are only taking people 15 and up, the man says with a bored expression as he stamps Liz's paper as accepted. I see. Sorry for wasting your time, I say and we walk out. So what did you get? I have to take an enlistment test first to determine my rank. It starts in an hour. Okay, you head there while I explore the capital a bit. I wave her off and head into the opposite direction. I can't believe the emperor was killed right in front of his throne. Yeah, and now they want to give the seat to that kid. I listen to people gossiping in a pub while waiting to get food. Yo kid, where's you mom? I look up and see a man around 18, 6 foot and black eyes staring at me. She's not here right now. Hey, isn't that 100 manslayer Bullet? Yeah, what's that kid doing talking to someone like him? I hear whispers around the pub. Bullet. It's okay kid, I'll help you find your mother and then you'll be happy again. Bullet screams out and grabs me by the arm running. He asks every woman he comes across and doesn't listen to my constant pleas of how I don't have a mom and whatnot. Jason. Liz carrying an officer uniform sees me and walks up. Huh, big sis. I act like a little kid and hop on her, rubbing my cheek against hers. Thank you Mr. Bullet for helping me, I say and led Liz away. Ah, beautiful, a sister trying to provide for her little brother in THW capital. Bullet says to himself and then runs off. Man, that was annoying, I say as we are walking back to our home. He seemed cool. And handsome, Liz says with a blush on her cheeks. Don't bother, he's gay, I say without turning around. Then her shoulders droop. Why do I have such bad luck with men? Maybe it's your face. Or personality, I tease her by pretending to think hard about the subject. What? You really think so? No, now stop lollygagging and tell me your rank. Oh, I'm an officer now, but they said I had enough talent to promote soon enough, she says excitedly. I see. Well, I'm going into the forest to train, wanna join? No, you can do it by yourself for a while, I want to wash up. Suit yourself. I say and rush off, leaving her behind. Najanda Pav. What is wrong with these people? How can she kill people without batting an eye, and she just got her taigu, how could she control it so well? As Najanda is thinking these things, the soldiers are slaughtering the village and a certain blue-haired girl is stepping on a man's head. You better kill me or you'll regret it, the man says. Haha, go ahead and leave, I hope you bring enough people to fight me next time. She's trying to make sure they start a war. How could she do this? I need to leave. As I'm trying to sneak away, I hear her ice-cold voice. Where are you going, Najanda? Death turns around and asks. I'm leaving. I can't watch this anymore. I start to walk away before I have a hand on my shoulder. Leave. Leave the battle. Or the army. Crap, how did she know? That's what I thought, and without another word my arm is cut off by her sword. Ah. I scream and jump away with pumpkin aimed at her. I will shoot, so watch. Oh, you. Before I can finish, she is already next to me, slashing my face, taking my eye. She's a monster, I have to get out of here. I run away, shooting pumpkin repeatedly towards her, but she doesn't give chase and just dodges, staring at me. Is she letting me get away? No, don't think about that right now and focus on surviving. I run farther and farther, occasionally stopping to rest and eat. End Pav. I get back to the room that we rented, covered in danger beast blood, and wash up. I see Liz sprawled out on the bed, barely covered, and feel blood rush to my crotch. Damn it, ever since I became aware of this stuff, this has been happening. I lay down and ignore my throbbing member and go to sleep. This chapter was slightly shorter than usual, because I have school, so sorry about that. I will release a longer chapter tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 8 comments, 0 vote. Sarayu ubiquitous. It's already been 1 week since we arrived in the capital and Liz is getting more popular among the officers. I met a couple of them, but didn't really listen when they talked, as I could tell they were trying to get my approval to marry Liz, and I don't care about that stuff. Word got to the Empire that death has eradicated the villages, and also word of General Najanda's betrayal was soon out. What are you going to do today? Liz, who is getting ready, asks me. I was thinking of trying drugs to see what makes people like them so much. Liz looks at me. Hell no. If you do drugs, I'll punish you. Fine, fine. I say to get her to calm down. Yeah, like I'll listen to you. 2 hours later. I stumble while walking through the streets. Haha. I laugh as I'm high and fall down, blacked out. Daddy, we should help him. Okay, bring him inside, honey. Ah, damn it. I'm never doing drugs again. Anne, don't do drugs, kids. I look around and see I'm in a small room. Where am I? Oh, you're awake. A girl around my age says happily. You were passed out on the road, but we brought you into our home. Thanks. Who are you? Oh, me. I'm Sarayu ubiquitous. Hi, I'm Jason. Jason Akira. As we are talking, someone who I assume to be her father comes into the room. Oh, good, you're awake. Yes, thank you, sir, for taking me in. Haha, it's all right, kid. I just did it for the sake of justice. He yells out happily. So that's where she got it from. Haha, Daddy is the captain of the Imperial Guard. One day I'll join him there, Sarayu says happily. Well, thanks for taking care of me, but I should leave. My sister is probably worried, haha. How about you walk him home, Sarayu? Her father says with a kind smile. Okay, let's go. She says and pulls me out of the room, then out of the house. So where do you live? She asks as we start walking down the road. Well, I wasn't planning to go home yet. I'm new to the capital and I wanted to look around for a bit, I say to hopefully get her off my chest. Oh. I'll come with. She says, still smiling happily. Damn it, this will be a long day. She leads me to all the places she knows and we end up spending the whole day together. This was fun, I guess, I tell her as we are walking back to my house. Yeah. Let's do this again. Fine, we can hang out again. Let's visit the forest next time. Might as well make a friend or two while I'm here. 3 days later. I sit down and on a rock and watch Sarayu try and catch a squirrel that keeps running back and forth. Haha, you can't even catch a squirrel and you want to be an Imperial Guard. She looks at me and pouts. Jason, help me. She says with puppy eyes. Fine, watch this. I use the earth to entrap the squirrel and keep it still. I then hop off the rock and pick up the struggling squirrel. I did it, haha. Sarayu looks at me with wide eyes. Wow. She jumps excitedly next to me. How did you do that? I just tilt my head and give a small smile. It's just something that I'm able to do, haha. Saryu. Dinner's ready, her dad calls out suddenly. Okay, I'll be there in a minute. She says and turns back towards me. Let's meet up tomorrow and play again. Okay, I nod and wave as she runs back. She is tiring, but fun to hang out with, I think to myself and walk deeper into the forest to train. 2 hours later. Sweat glistens on my half-naked figure as I look at what I did. Haha, this was on that anime they let us watch. Naruto. In the palm of my hand was condensed air spinning around fast as I crash it against the tree, completely destroying it. What about the other elements? I mix in fire first and see it causes a more destructive explosion. This will be a useful trump card. Growl. I hear a growl and see a wolf-type danger beast slowly coming toward me. Oh good, I needed more training in bloodbending, hee hee. I raise my hand and the wolf freezes. Now if I move the blood to this side. I say as I control the wolf. If your heart pumps blood throughout your body, then what if I redirect it back toward the heart? I say with a smile looking at the wolf, and the wolf mouth suddenly produces a lot of blood and it slumps, obviously dead. Oh well, let's head back. As I'm walking back toward the city I see smoke above and curious I run toward it. When I get to the place where the smoke is I clench my fists and see Saryu yelling and crying at her burning house. Daddy. She screams and I see another man come up. Saryu. Huh, Captain Ogre. Please help Daddy. She yells and jumps up. How could he be here so quick? I squint my eyes toward Ogre and walk away silently without being noticed. When I get back home I see Liz eating dinner. How was training? She asks me without looking over. Productive. Saryu's dad just died, I say before pulling up a chair and eating along with her. Oh, that's Nick. What? Why are you here? Shouldn't you be comforting her? She yells at me. Why would I? I say, tilting my confusedly. Sai, we really need to get you books on human interaction. Since she is your friend she would probably appreciate your company. Oh. Too late now. I shrug and continue eating, ignoring Liz's judging eyes. She sighs again. What a heartless bastard. Yeah, whatever. So I'm not sure what actually happened to Saryu's parents, so I just mad at that her mom died already and then her dad was killed in a plot by Ogre. This way Ogre becomes the captain and also takes in Saryu to train her, and that's how she becomes all justice bullcrap that she spews all the time in canon. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 5 comments, 0 vote. Imperial Guard. There will be a lemon in this chapter. Crash. A man falls to the ground after provoking the Imperial Guard. Weakling never stood a chance of beating me, Jason says smugly looking down. It's the Imperial Guards, let's get out of here. Nice job Jason, now we can finally get a drink, Captain Ogre says, praising Jason. No problem sir. It's been 2 years since he's gotten to the capital and he's finally joined up in the Imperial Guard. Liz was promoted to lieutenant a while back and sent to the front lines of the war under General Budo. Jason, along with Saryu, joined the Imperial Guard under Captain Ogre, stopping criminals. That's what they want us to believe, but Jason already knows how wrong they were. He would reckon that he's killed at least 20 innocent people who did nothing wrong. See ya tomorrow, Jason says and walks off after a drink with Ogre. Hey guard, a man with raggedy clothes and greasy looking hair says to Jason, let me have some money, I'll pay you back. I look at him and smile. Here, I say, I have to keep up a good reputation for later along the line, who knows, one day he might be a general and people would remember his kindness. I reach home and sit down on the couch. Yes, the couch. We got a new house once Liz promoted the first time, and since then they have been living well. Knock knock. Someone knocks on the door and I go to answer. It answers. Lemon start. Hello, miss. I say with a mischievous smile. A 17-year-old girl that lived close by. She had silky black hair slightly shorter than me along with decent-sized breasts, looks at me slightly desperate. Shut up, she says and steps forward into my arms, kissing me. I just smile and stick my tongue in while simultaneously closing the door, then putting my hands on her waist. I lead her to the bedroom and press her down on the mattress without breaking the kiss. My hands snake upward toward her breasts and I give a light squeeze. On, she moans in pleasure and looks up at me with lustful eyes. Please take me, she pleads and runs her hand across my torso. Why, of course, my smile deepens as I lift her shirt to get better access to her breast and continue squeezing them while also taking off her bottoms. On, she moans again while rubbing my cock, which is severely hard right now. Jason. I take off her panties and lean my head close, licking the nether regions. Ah yes, she moans, right there. I continue to lick her insides as she presses my head deeper, moaning louder than before. She suddenly arches her back. On. She comes and pants. I sit up and look down on her. Now my turn, I say and point towards my D. She nods with a smile and unzips my pants and takes it out, stroking, so big. She leans her face closer and starts slowly kissing and licking it while looking into my eyes. She continues stroking and opens her mouth, enveloping it. She moans again, looking into my eyes and stroking and bobbing her head up and down. Perhaps feeling something, she quickens her pace before giving it full attention until. I'm coming. I tell her and she nods and continues sucking. I grunt and cum in her mouth as I watch her suck and lick every drop. Delicious. She says and takes off the rest of my clothes. Will you please take me, master? She says with her butt right in front of my D. I grab her hips and turn her around, making me onto and slowly push it in. Ah. I pull out and go back in, listening to her moans. She comes again and digs her fingers into my back, moaning. I continue thrusting inside her until I grit my teeth. I'm coming. Please inside me, master. I grant her wish and unload inside her and she flops down like a ragdoll and we go to sleep. Lemon end. In the morning. I open my eyes, feeling something moving in my arms. Master. Oh good, you're awake already, now leave. I say with an indifferent expression and hop out of bed. She pouts at me as she's getting dressed. Master's so mean, I'm never sleeping with him again, she says and opens the door to leave before stopping. Be back tonight. I nod my head in acknowledgement and finish getting dressed into my uniform and walk out a little while later. Hey kid, fun night. Captain Ogre smiles at me. It could have been better, I'd rate a 7/10. Ogre bursts out laughing. Kid, I swear your standards are even higher than mine. Yeah, and I do it more than you too. I smile smugly. So what's on the agenda today? Some new group calling themselves Night Raid. Our job is to scout and look for anything suspicious. Alright, got it, I say and walk off toward my territory that I'm looking into today. A few hours of nothing later, I see a yellow-haired cutie talking to a hooded figure. Is this where she joins Night Raid? I think to myself before ignoring them and headed to sit on a chair and drink some alcohol that Ogre said was good. I manipulate the wind to carry their voices over to my ears and eavesdrop on their conversation. Good job last time. Are you sure you want to join permanently? You could just never talk to us again and live peacefully. Leonie answers with a determined face. No way in hell. This city is getting worse by the minute. I want to be part of the change. Very well. Meet me at nightfall, and make sure no one sees you. I'll have someone come to bring you to the base, the cloaked figure says and walks off. I need a drink, Leonie says and sits next to me at the bar. Imperial Guard, huh? I look at her and flash a smile. Yep, it's a pretty great job. Her face gets brighter. Wow, they must pay you a lot of money, huh? Wanna buy me a drink? She says innocently. I would. But I gotta head home since my shift is over. See ya, I say and leave the money on the table, walking off. I get home and hear a knock on the door, and so it repeats. I welcome her into my home and we get started. That was my first time making a lemon scene, so it probably wasn't that good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 7 comments, 0 vote. Meeting Night Raid, Liz returns. I woke up with the sun in my eyes blinding me. Ah, don't leave, a redhead next to me says. See ya, I say as I put my clothes on and leave. There was no way I would stay the whole morning, I got stuff to do. Yo, Captain. I yell out to Ogre and he turns toward me. Haha, Jason, they say we've caught one of Night Raid's members. I pause for a second. Really? Are we able to see them? I ask, wondering which member it will be. Yeah, we're able to see their public execution. It seems the Emperor wants to make an example of these greenies. Alright, let's meet back here after scouting. Sound good? He nods and I go along my way, catching people who are trying to rape a girl, and also a few murderers, and finally make my way back to meet Ogre. We meet up and head toward the arena where they will be executed. I don't recognize this one, I think to myself, seeing a blue-haired girl strung up. Stop. She screams as the executioner is lashing her with a whip. Haha, dirty trash, got what's coming to her, Ogre says as we sit down. She is pretty. If they weren't executing her, then I would have some fun with her first, hee, Ogre says next to me. Yeah. For sure, I say, still focusing on the crowd. If she had a taigu, they would come here to save her. As I thought that, I noticed a certain yellow-haired lioness sit down in the stands. Hey, I'm going to go pick up a beauty, I tell Ogre and walk toward her seat and sit down. Hey, do you know CPR? I ask and she stares at me blankly, because you take my breath away, I say with a small smirk. This is too embarrassing to say. I can feel my face start to heat up as she stares at me blankly, then a small smile appears on her face, ha 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 ha. That was so stupid. She holds her stomach and keeps laughing. I can tell it's an act, however, since she isn't really laughing. Sorry, just kidding, I mutter and head back to my seat with the ogre. Already rejected? He asked with an amused smile. Shut up. 20 minutes later, I'm still waiting for Night Raid to save her, but she is executed as soon as enough people get here and I finally see Leonie walk out after the execution. I decide to follow her and we end up in the woods, and I see a cloaked figure, and 2 others. How was it? Najinda asks under the cloak. They killed her. They all start heading farther back until I jump in front. Well, hello Night Raid. They look shocked to see me and pull out their weapons. Najinda has pumpkin, and it doesn't seem like Lubbock has his taigu yet. Who are you? It's you. Leonie mutters under her breath. I manipulate the wind and create a vacuum to suck the air out of their lungs while simultaneously blood-bend Bula to start dancing. This is fun. I say sarcastically. What do you want? Leonie screams at me. Your body, I immediately reply, shocking her a bit, then causing a smirk to form on her lips. Oh really? Nah, just kidding, I wanted to see how strong you guys were compared to me, and now that I've seen it, I'm disappointed. I release them and start walking away. Later, losers, I say before vanishing from their sight and leaving them there. Walking into the house, I knew something was wrong. Hello. Liz comes out of the room area with a smile on her face. Jason. She runs to me and pulls me into a hug where her breasts are in my face. Sup, how have you been? The war should be ending soon. I heard you might get promoted, she says with a silly smile on her face. That's great. Well, I'm going to my room, it's been a long day. Okay, good night, she says, giving me one more hug. I lay down on my bed and can't help but feel that I forgot something. Jason. Liz yells out at me, who's this girl at the door? Oh, that's what I forgot, haha. I jump up and walk out to see Liz and the redhead from this morning staring at each other. Come on, I gesture to her and point to my room. Jason, is that your girlfriend? Liz asks curiously. No, just an F-buddy from down the street. She isn't that bad, but the blonde next door is better. Liz has a face of shock on her face as she hears this. Did you become a gigolo when I was gone? She starts to look worried and closes the door. If you needed money, I could have given some to you. You don't have to sell yourself, master. PFT, no, I didn't become a gigolo. I just felt like having sex with all these women, and I did it because I wanted to know more, no less, haha. She looks more shocked at this but then breathes out a sigh of relief. Oh, thank goodness, you just became a playboy. Yeah, whatever, I'm going to release my stress now, bye. I give her a wave before walking into the room. Sarah. I said quietly, looking at the redhead facing away from me with no clothes on. I walk forward and wrap my hands around her, kissing the back of her neck. Who said you are allowed to be this seductive? She laughs and I can feel her heat up. I did it just for you, she says seductively. I trace my finger down her back, causing her to shiver. I think I'm taking you from behind tonight, I say before undressing and pushing her to the bed, causing her to yelp, and then we get it on. Spoiler. They had sex. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Like it. Add to the library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 3 comments, 0 vote. Fighting Akame, saving Seo. But not Ieyasu. So ignore the hiatus chapter I put last night. I decided to stop being a pussy and just write. Just fight her. Or are you scared? Ogre says to taint me as we look at the back-haired red-eyed girl in front of us with a sword drawn. I'm not scared, asshole. I yell and summon Elias, then lunge at her, slashing downward. As expected, she blocks, but I can see the surprise on her face as she feels the pressure. Flashback. Sitting at the bar with Ogre, we finish out drinks and decide to head out on patrol. Bump. I accidentally hit a girl about my age who was walking with 5 other people. Oops, sorry, I say with my hand outstretched. It seems she didn't want my apology as she slashed at my hand, jumping up. Damn, calm down. She looks up at me since I'm slightly taller. I won't calm down, fight me, she says and lunges again. I dodge and jump back again. I don't feel like it. Flashback end. Kicking her in the stomach, I will Elias away and punch her with my bare hand, then resummon it and slash once again at the stunned girl. Stop. A man with a katana blade walks forward. That's quite enough. He picks up Akame and they all leave. What a bastard. How dare he stop my fight? I grumble and walk the other direction with Captain Ogre. Haha, that was some fancy stuff, kid. I didn't even know that you had a taigu. Yeah, I've had it for a while. Time skip Sama. It's now been 5 years since I've gotten to the capital, and today is a very special day. Why do you ask? It's because of spotted Tatsumi's friends Seo and Ieyasu get picked up by Ari. A lot of disappearances have happened around her street, so it's obvious that she is taking them. I'm not sure whether I should save them or let them die and make sure Tatsumi goes to night raid. Well, sitting down celebrating my birthday, I decided to save only Seo and let Ieyasu die. He can be the factor that causes Tatsumi to join night raid. So how does it feel to be 18 now? Liz asks with a smile while pouring us drinks. It feels like a day since I've been 17, I say with a sigh. Well, it has, haha. What about Death? How come you haven't notified her that we're here and the capital yet? Liz asks, taking off her jacket and sitting down drinking. Well, she will learn soon enough anyway. Besides, the last time I saw her was after my family had murdered her whole clan. Liz freezes, perhaps remembering that night, and sighs. Yeah, you're probably right. Do you think she hates us? Nah, she will probably be excited to see us after so long. I don't think she had any emotional connection to the clan anyway. We sit and chat for a while, Liz, talking about her general duties and how I should agree to promote already when finally night comes around. Sneaking out of the house and avoiding a sleeping Liz, I head over to their territory. Once I get there, I sneak into the back and go onto the two of the shed, waiting for them to drag the two out here. Come on, hurry up. A blonde girl yells to the guards as they are carrying Ieyasu and Seo. Opening the doors to the shed, they start to walk in. Before they can get in, I drop down and slice off one guard's arm, grabbing Seo and vanishing away before they realize anything is wrong. Ah. I hear the guard scream as I'm running with Seo in my arms. You'll be good leverage against Tatsumi, haha. Arriving back at the house, I put Seo on the bed and cover her up. Did you go somewhere? Liz says as I walk back to the kitchen. Nope, must have been your imagination, I say to her quickly. Good night. I wave her before shutting the door to my room and sitting down on the floor. It would be disrespectful to lay in the same bed as an unconscious girl. In the morning, Seo Pav. I wake up still feeling a little sleepy. Maybe I'll be able to go shopping with Ari today. Smiling at the thought, I open my eyes to an unfamiliar ceiling. Wait, what? I say out loud and look around, searching for the settings of the room I was in last night. Oh good, you're up. A man around my age walks into the room with no shirt on. I feel my face go red as I quickly grab onto the blanket and pull it up to hide. Who are you? What? He says with a slightly sad face. You don't even remember the things we did last night together. I'm hurt. Last night. Don't tell me. My face gets hotter as I look at him closely. Seeing that he has no shirt on, I get scared. Did we? Yes, we did, and I also got you pregnant, but I'm a bastard and don't want to take responsibility for it, so just leave and take care of our child by yourself, he says with a straight face. Crap, 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 crap. I scream in my head, how could I let this happen? Damn it, am I just a slut now? Perhaps sensing my distress, he smiles and laughs. Haha, I'm just kidding. You were drugged and on the ground, so I brought you here. But your friend wasn't as lucky, he said with a solemn face. What do you mean? I say with wide eyes, uncovering myself. Your friend. Ieyasu is dead. When I hear this, I can feel something hurt inside of me. Ieyasu. He was like a brother and now. He's dead. I feel tears running down my cheeks. I start sobbing. The man walks up to me and puts a hand on my head. Sorry. Do you want to get revenge? I stop when he hears this and look up. Revenge. He smiles. Yes, if you join the Imperial Army, I'm sure that you can find out what happened. He then takes his hand off and starts walking away. Just rest and give it some thought. I'll bring you breakfast. Wait, what's your name? Jason, he says and walks out. Jason. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard. Cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 7 comments, 0 vote. Manipulating Seo. Target. Imperial Guard Jason Akira. Ha. Seo jumps at me with a wooden sword. It's been 3 days since I took her from the girl and canon has already officially started. I ended up telling her that Tatsumi was manipulated into joining Night Raid. I also said that Night Raid were the ones who poisoned her and killed Ieyasu. After I told her this, she is determined to get stronger to fight them and, me being the nice guy the first agreed to train her. Too slow, I say and tap her leg with my wooden sword. When can we start real training? She says, annoyed. Don't you want to save Tatsumi? When I say this she freezes. He could be getting tortured right now and you're complaining tisk. I shake my head in disappointment. Haha, now fall in my trap. By the time this is over you'll be my loyal servant. Let's go again, she says suddenly full of energy. Good. I then lunge at her, tripping her and putting my sword at her throat. Since I won this round you have to do the rest of training in your underwear, I say with a smile. She gets up with a blush on her face and starts stripping. This is one of the things we agreed on. Whoever wins the round can ask any request of the other person. Now 100 squats, then 100 jumping jacks. Pervert, she says and starts doing it while I watch from behind. After training, we wash up and eat dinner and I tell her I need to go patrol. Walking down the street I meet Captain Ogre and another guy with his hood up. Hey Ogre. Who's this guy? Oh hey, Jason. This guy wanted to talk to me for a while. Alright, I won't interrupt, I say and turn the corner then hop on top of the buildings to watch. They wouldn't even take my application, Tatsumi says and starts pulling out his sword. Tatsumi jumps at Captain Ogre cutting his chest in one clean swipe. Amateur. You shouldn't look away from your opponent. Sure enough, Tatsumi has to dodge a strike from Ogre, and also listen to everything that Ogre's done. You're all the same. All I want to do is take scum like you and slash at it. Tatsumi jumps up and screams, cutting off both of Ogre's hands then dropping back down and finally killing him. Pretty good I guess, I say appearing behind him crouching down and looking at Ogre's body. Huh. He jumps back and aims his sword at me. It's you. Quiet down, I say and use bloodbending to freeze him. Now, I say walking forward with a smile on my face, I want to play a little game. Let's see, there are 2 players. You and someone of my choosing. In 1 month I want you 2 to battle to the death. And whoever wins gets a reward, okay? Without letting him answer I kick him away. Oh and also, I can kill you whenever I want so don't try and tell the others, this is mine and yours little secret. After seeing his nod I vanish and go back home falling asleep. The next day. I have to fight someone in 1 month. Sayo yells as we start training, how am I supposed to do that? To the death no less. Stop complaining. If you win this fight you will be able to get Tatsumi back from night raid, so just train hard, okay? She sighs and begins her warm-ups. Haha, let's see how Tatsumi reacts seeing his friend as the one he killed, I think to myself with an evil smile. Tatsumi Pav. He's crazy, that guy isn't someone I can handle. Even if I was strong enough he can easily freeze me and kill me right away. Crap. What am I supposed to tell Bullet, Akame, and the other? I only hope they don't blame me for not telling them. I walk in and see Leonie, Akame L, and Najinda in the room. I finished my mission. Good. Did anyone see you? She asks and looks at me. Crap, does she know? My heart starts to beat faster. Someone saw me. So I had to kill them, I say trying to look sad about it. Sigh, it's okay. Now we have a new target that will take the whole team to complete. I begin to listen. His name is Jason, he's been in the Imperial Guards for a few years now, and he seems to be an easier kill than going after his sister. General Liz first, she says and tosses a picture of the target. I widen my eyes, this guy. Are you sure that he isn't stronger than his sister? I ask trying to indirectly hint that battling this guy is a bad idea. Well. We met him one time and he was able to use some kind of taigu to stop Lubbock. We assume that the limit is 1 person so while he freezes someone, another will attack him, she says explaining. Well. Okay, when is it? About a week from now should be a good time. With General S death and General Liz out of the Empire this is an ideal time to strike, she says with a smile. Besides, killing her little brother will cause her to be in a chaotic state of mind. Back to Mick. I sneeze, are you sick? Sayo asks me sitting up in the bed. Nah, someone must be admiring my handsome face somewhere, I say with a shrug then smile at her. Now strip to your underwear. She blushes and starts to do it. Just don't touch me. You can look but if you touch I'll try to kill you. I smile, don't worry. This isn't for me, this is just for you to start doing better. You know, for the greater good and all the bees, I say and climb into bed admiring her figure. Whatever, comes her reply as she turns on her side facing away from me. Good night. I nod and drift to sleep. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 6 comments 0 vote. Sayo my faithful follower come at me nitrate. Sayo Pav. Asterisk I wake up feeling relaxed, but then feel something touching me. Looking down I see 2 hands fondling my chest. Huh. I say and try to move only for breasts to be gripped tighter as a demanding voice said in my ear. Don't move. Jason said and kept fondling me. What are you doing? I say trying to stifle my moans. Stop, more. What? There's no way I would enjoy this. Isn't this wrong? Please. Harder, I think to myself and bite my lip gathering courage, harder. Suddenly all the pressure on my chest is gone and I turn to see Jason get out of bed. Nah, I have things to do, he says and leaves. Asshole. Jason Pav. The best way to play is to get one to be obsessed with you. Right now she's probably cursing me, but by the end of the day she will be working 100x harder than normal to try and get me to do it again. Chuckling to myself I make my way into the castle. Approaching the throne room I swiftly open the doors and kneel. Emperor. Hello newly promoted Captain Akira, the child emperor says and I smile. Haha ogre. You got replaced just like that. Then the prime minister gets up with a smile. Ah Jason my old friend, how are you enjoying the capital? It's been 5 years, right? I nod with a smile. Yes prime minister, it's been 5 years since my sister and I have come to the capital. Well now that you are captain, is there any other thing you might need? He asks. No sir, everything is fine. In that case, you are dismissed. Nodding I get back up and leave. If anyone saw me they'd see a crazed smile on my face. Haha honest, I can't wait to play a game with you. Tugging at my sleeve that hides my symbol I put a soft smile back on my face. Master. Sayo says as I enter and bows. Hello Sayo. Haha, manipulating you is just too easy Sayo. I've prepared you lunch. And also I would like to speak with you after. I just nod and proceed to eat. Halfway through I look up after noticing a presence entering the perimeter. Oh hell no. This isn't the time for you to see her yet Tatsumi. Get out, I say forcefully to Sayo, causing her to instantly back away. Walking out the front door I smile. What is it Tatsumi? Tatsumi, who is on top of my roof looking away from me, says, I wanted to know something. What? Who is the champion I have to fight in a few weeks? Sigh, just leave. I already know that Leonie is trying to get any information she can from that house over there, I say and glance over at the said house smiling. Feeling Tatsumi's heart start to beat faster, I smile. Come on Tatsumi. Technically you just told someone about how you are fighting someone on my side. Whatever, if they show up in the middle of my game they'll die, I say shrugging my shoulders. Is that what people's lives mean to you? Just a game. Yep, pretty much. But, I vanish and reappear behind Tatsumi. I'm not sure how I like that time of voice. Sorry, Tatsumi said out of habit. Haha yes, don't worry. I already knocked Leonie out the second I came outside. Hee. I push him off the roof and see him start to run away, only stopping to get Leonie. Okay, what did you want to? Stopping after seeing Sayo I smile. Haha, all part of the plan. Sayo, who is sitting in a kneeling type position on my bed, is wearing black lingerie with her hair down. Master. She says with a red face. What do you want? I say, forcing her to beg. See, can you please touch me? She says, this time looking down and biting her lip. Smiling I get closer to her until I'm right next to her ear. Unlucky. I have duties as captain to do today. Try again next time, haha, I say and then leave again to patrol, more like F*** around and play games. 1 week later. Flicking a toothpick out of my mouth I stare at the 7-night raid members who brought me out here. So. What do you want? Unfortunately you have been judged guilty. Leonie says and everyone gets into a fighting stance. Jason Akira original. Pyrosengen, I mutter and a high flaming swirling ball appears in my right hand. So. Who is first? Bullet lunges at me with his spear. I easily dodge and kick him in the ribs, then twisting my body I hit him in the face, causing him to fly back a little. Boom. Dodging Mine's attempt at sniping me I cut off the blood from her brain, and finally, my champion arrives. Flashback. Wear this outfit along with this mask at all times, okay? I said to a begging Sayo who keeps asking me to touch her. Why? If people knew who you were they would be able to use you to get to me. I say some BS I came up with on the spot. She brightens up. So you do care about me, master? She says and jumps to hug me. Looking down at her outfit she starts getting dressed. Flashback end. Tatsumi. I lied, the battle starts now. I say and Sayo rushes toward Tatsumi. I had convinced her that he was so immersed in brainwashing the only way to save him was death. She didn't agree, but with a few lessons about the real world she reluctantly agreed. Sayo tackles Tatsumi and forces him into an area where they can fight. Ha. Bullet charges at me and I smile. A quick kick to the chest knocks him off balance and I finally push the Pyrosengen into his exposed chest. That's a lot of damage, I say, and it explodes, causing Bullet to fall limp in my arms, dead. Looking up with splattered blood on my face, I killed your big brother, right? Come at me, Night Raid, I say before releasing hell. Next chapter will be Seo vs. Tatsumi. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 11 comments, 0 vote. Download the app for greater interaction. You can chat with me about my writing experience apart from the comments section. TheGodSage. Download app now. Seo vs. Tatsumi, a little sexual torture never hurt anybody. Seo lunges at Tatsumi, forcing him back into an area to fight. What? He yells, so you're the champion person or whatever, well I have to fight. Tatsumi says and attacks Seo, who dodges to the right, kicking Tatsumi chest. Weak, she mutters and attacks again, forcing Tatsumi to take a step back. You're on the wrong side. He screams, how is she so strong? Seo gets angry at his words and kicks him in the stomach, causing him to fly back. I'm on no one's side. Only my master's. She yells out and jumps on top of Tatsumi with her blade at his neck. Sorry, she mutters and goes in for the kill. Time slows as Tatsumi feels he's about to die, but suddenly his hand grips something, Encursio. He screams, causing the armor to fly out and forcing Seo to jump back. Now in full armor, he stares down at Seo. Crap. I need to hurry, I can already feel my stamina draining. He rushes towards Seo and immediately notices the difference in their strength. You aren't strong enough. I win, he says to her before putting more force, breaking her sword and forcing her back. Seo's mask gets knocked off as she slams into the ground, rolling a few times, and no. She says weakly, thinking of Jason, I have to win. Forcing herself to stand even though her ankle is fractured. Seo. Tatsumi screams, seeing his childhood friend and crush standing before him. Hey, Tatsumi. I'm sorry that I couldn't save you, she says before getting back into a fighting stance. How? Tatsumi thinks to himself as tears start to fall. I thought you died just like Ieyasu. But how come you're following that bastard? Seo face turns dark. Don't say that. About my master. She screams and using the last bit of her strength lunges towards Tatsumi. Fortunately, at this moment Encursio ran out of time and disappeared. Catching him right in the middle of his face, Seo with her full power knocks out Tatsumi, who was exhausted after wearing the armor. Mick vs. Night Raid. Come at me, Night Raid. Jason taunts with his arm through Bullet's chest. Looking over, he sees Seo fighting and overwhelming Tatsumi. This could be a good opportunity to make her stronger, he thinks. Kicking over Encursio towards Tatsumi, he smiles and turns his attention back to Night Raid. Mine is already knocked out. Should I kill one more? He thinks to himself. Aniki. Akame screams and rushes toward Jason with her sword drawn. I only need to hit him once. She thinks, remembering their little spar a few years back. Dodging her first swing, Jason smiles. So. You stole this sword after killing Gozuki? He asks, throwing Akame off. Mind battles are more effective to ensure victory, he thinks to himself before palm striking her throat, causing her to fall and clutch it. Lunging forward, Jason knocks out Shield and looks at the remaining Night Raid members. Leave now. You lost, idiots. As soon as he says this, a huge explosion comes from the side. Seeing Seo crush Tatsumi's face, everyone's face turns grim. Let's go. Leonie says, then looks around. Where are Shield and mine? Jason smiles at her words. I burned them to ash, he says with a smirk still on his face. Clenching her fist and turning her head away, Leonie leaves along with the remaining Night Raid members, carrying Akame. Walking over to Seo's heavily breathing body, he smiles. Good job. Now kill him, he says with a cold tone. This will be the last test I give you, Seo. Will you choose me or Tatsumi? Seo's eyes widen at his words and she looks up at him. Seeing no sign of a joke, a tear falls down her cheek as she slits the unconscious Tatsumi's throat. I'm sorry. She thinks to herself as more tears fall. Putting a hand on her head and ruffling it a bit. I'm sorry. But it had to be done. They brainwashed him. Let's take down Night Raid the next chance we get, okay? He says to her and walks away. One day later. Shield and Mine start to wake up and see they're chained up in a dark room. Further, inspection shows they are completely nude. What the hell? Mine yells and tries to struggle out of the chains. Shield is calmer as she looks around for clues to where they could be. Of course, they had plot armor so they shouldn't worry, right? Dash. 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 Wrong. This is not the version where everything somehow goes their way. This is Jason's story. So there will be really bad content ahead. Just want to warn you, and if you can't handle things like torture or r******, then please skip the rest of this chapter. Okay, you are warned. Walking into the room with a hood on and a bag over his shoulder was Jason, who after putting down his tools, started undressing. How dare you strip me? Mine starts to yell. Slap. Jason slaps Mine with force to show her place in this situation, then grabbing her chin and facing her face upwards he leans close. I guess I'll start with you. Before she can complain he takes out something that makes her scared. A 16-inch D***do. He shoves it in her mouth, blocking any screams that could come from her mouth and simultaneously causing her eyes to bulge. Ah, don't look at me like that, Jason says with a smile, seeing Shield's glare. There will be plenty of time for you later. Returning his attention back to the choking Mine, he grabs her tiny breasts, forcefully squeezing them and pinching her nipples immediately. No. Mine screams, coughing out the D***LDO with tears in her eyes as she looks at Jason pleadingly. Showing a sadistic smile, Jason aims at her nether areas and puts his full length inside her, forcing her to scream. No, stop. Shield yells, struggling. You can use me, but please don't do this to Mine. She says, crying after seeing her friend. Pulling out, Jason sighs and goes over to Shield, immediately forcing himself inside her, choking her and thrusting with full strength. Fine, he says and continues. Ah, Shield moans. What? Why does it feel good? She moans again, a wet glaze covering her eyes. Is she a masochist? Jason thinks to himself as he tightens his hold on her, putting more force in his thrusts. On. Shield screams and passes out after her climax with a satisfied smile, completely forgetting her situation. Backing away and seeing the mess he made, Jason smiles once again. I don't think she will need this anymore after this. Now I should do a different approach for her, he thinks to himself, looking over at the bawling Mine. Hey, he says, softly cupping Mine's cheek and wiping her tears. Don't cry. You look more beautiful when you're smiling. Mine's eyes widen. What be beautiful? She thinks to herself. Seeing a slight change in my resistance, Jason smiles, just as I thought. Instead of breaking her, I can go gently. It might take longer, but it's worth it in the end. I'm sorry. I was just captivated by your beauty, so I wanted you. But this isn't the right approach, he says in a sad, regretful tone. Please forgive me, he continues while a tear is falling slowly down his cheek. He's sorry. Maybe he just likes me so much that he thought this would be the only way. Mine thinks to herself, not realizing that she's subconsciously slowly accepting Jason's words for the truth. Jason gives a soft smile and kisses her lips passionately, not in an aggressive, dominant way, but as if he was in love with her. A few more times of this and she will fall in love with me. At least unless I judged how she thinks wrong, he thinks to himself. Outside in the capital. Welcome back, General Esdeath. Honest and the Child Emperor greeted the kneeling Esdeath and give her rewards. Is there anything else? Yes, she says, lifting her head. I would like to fall in love. This shocks everyone and the Emperor tries to offer honest. Thinking of a certain childhood friend, Esdeath states out her conditions for the one she wants to love, Jason. Okay, so there won't be much of this kind of stuff because I kinda hate writing something like this. I only did this to show once and for all that he isn't a good person, and believe it or not, when Jason actually smiles, it's an innocent smile. I mean, who knew? Creation is hard. Cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 9 comments, 0 vote. Yeager's happy reunion. Or not. Shorter chapter today. It's now been 1 week since Jason fought Night Raid and kidnapped Shield and Mine. Sitting down at the table, he eats the special breakfast that Shield made for her. Precious master, her words. While Mine is still struggling on what to think, as technically he raped them, but he also said he loved them. Some people are too easy to manipulate, Jason thinks to himself with a smirk. Master. Shield yells to him with a letter in her hand. You have a summons from the Emperor, she says, handing the letter, then going back to cleaning the house. Reading the letter, Jason sighs. Damn it. It's a letter to meet at the castle at noon. Apparently, General Esdeath wants to make a group of people that can counter Night Raid. Wonder how she will react. Jason thinks to himself, imagining her face when she sees one of her childhood friends in her little group. Jason. Mine's soft voice sounds out behind him. He turns and sees her blushing and looking away. See, can you help? She says, quietly pointing to the room. Jason smile. A real smile, the kind of smile only a crazy person can have after doing countless evil deeds. Sure, he says and gets up, leading her to the room. Locking the door behind him, he sets his sights on Mine, and seeing her start to take her clothes off, he smiles again. Checkmate. Guess you weren't that good of a pawn for the rebels, hee. Instead of waiting for her to slowly take off her clothes, Jason uses Ilios to slash them off quickly and forces her on the bed. I won't lie. This won't be gentle, he whispers into her ear and gets to work. Spoiler. They held hands. Arriving in the meeting room, Jason sees he is the first to arrive and decides to sit down in a classic protagonist seat close to the window. Maybe I should start a new game with the Jaegers. I think to myself with a smile. The door opens and a muscular man walks in with a mask and waits quietly at the table saying nothing. I give my best happy-go-lucky smile and stand up. Are you from the incendiary squad? I say excitedly to give the impression that I'm just a kid who got lucky to have a taigu. That's so cool. This will be easy. Make them gain my trust, then destroy them once I finish my game with honest. Flashback. Omega. Today your name changes to Joker, the doctor says as I'm watching the new anime he put in the White Room. You have to be able to beat your brothers and sisters at the end of this year, so get to practicing. Yes sir. I say and hop off the couch and go into my room. Looking at the incubation chamber I was born in, I remembered that the characters from anime call the one who gives birth to them, Mom. Hey Mom, I say and wave to the chamber, then get dressed and go to my classes. Okay, today you will be learning manipulation Omega, the woman with white hair says to me in a nice tone. Joker. Games. Manipulation. Betrayal. Kill. Back to AKG. Talking with Bowles I learned that he had a child and wife before finally, the next guy came in. Hey, he says with a wave and sits on the opposite side of the table away from Bowles. Hey, dude. Jason says to keep up his innocent persona, isn't this cool? We're going to be heroes haha, man I feel so sick acting like this. Resisting the urge to throw up Jason manages to greet each member the same way except Seryu who he greeted and said hi like they were old friends. Then finally a blue-haired woman with a mask came into the room. What are you all doing here? She screams looking at them. Hayward, Wave tries to say before getting kicked away. She then proceeds to attack each member until finally reaching Jason. Dodge. Jason dodges her fists and pokes her breast smiling. Hey Esdeath, he says quickly snatching the mask and putting it in his face before anyone can blink. Fast everyone in the room thinks seeing this. Do I know you? She asks seeing he looks kind of familiar. What? You forgot your very best friend. He then gets up to make a dramatic scene. Oh gods please curse this low one for not making his mark on the world. Lowering his head he pretends to cry, remember? When we were kids. Then smiling he lounges at her and pinches causing her to fly back. Getting up and dusting herself she smiles, Jason. Whoever wins is the dominant one. Sorry for the shorter chapter. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators thoughts. 9 comments 0 vote. Fight for dominance manipulation of Akame. Jason smiles at her words, really Ice Queen. Do you think you could take me? Esdeath shows her sadistic smile, we promised. Whoever wins this battle, gets to be the dominant one. She yells and lunges at Jason. Slash. Jason puts flames on Ilios and slashes sideways melting the ice that's formed while simultaneously clashing with Esdeath. You've gotten pretty strong. I wonder how good you are in bed. Esdeath blushes slightly and pushes harder. Yeah I wonder who will get the dominant position. Crash. They smash through the window and fall onto the streets below. The rest of the Jaegers looked at this clash in confusion, maybe they are old friends. Wave says to the others. I think it's a little more than that Wave. Rand comments while pulling out a book to read, but don't you think we should stop them? They might destroy the city. Karone picks up her fallen cookies and starts munching on them once again, whatever. Bowles starts to grab the bag of fish that Wave had brought. I can get started on dinner if anyone wants some. Looking at 4 new graves beside 2 that Tatsumi had dug. Night Raid had grim faces. You said he would be easy. Leone screamed at Najenda, he might even be stronger than the generals. How the hell is that easy? Leone. Lubbock says catching the first that was going towards Najenda, it's all our faults for not being prepared. I'll kill him, Akame said looking at the 4 graves that read, Tatsumi, mine, Shield, Bullet, he deserves the worst. Silence overtakes them, General Esdeath is back. And it seems she is making a new group to counter us, Najenda says after a moment. What? Not only do we have to worry about the guard, now we have to worry about Esdeath. When does it end? I'm going alone tonight. To kill him, Akame says and disappears. Cracking the street, Jason coughs out blood. Damn, your ass is too heavy now, Death. Don't worry, I help you lighten it up after our battle. She smirks. If you win, you can do whatever you want. But if you lose. She lets it hang in the air as she tries to freeze him. Jason Akira Original, Sairo Rasengan. A large ice ball appears in Jason's hand as he rushes forward aiming at Death. Instead of hitting her, however, she blocks it and makes the ice spread all around the area. You use ice too? Death asks, getting excited. Jason smiles. Yeah. I can also use fire mist with earth, he says, and Death looks up. Jason Akira Original, Meteor Shower. Flaming rocks get shit down toward Death as she smiles even more. Time freezes and Death starts laughing. Haha, I didn't think I would need to use this against you, she says, walking forward. IWI. Crack. Jason starts moving again, bypassing her time freeze and kicks her in the face, causing her to fly back, then pouncing on her and pinning her down, finally sealing her lips before she could protest. She starts to struggle, then stops and enjoys the kiss. I missed you, she says after he pulls away. Yeah, well. I win. He jumps up, flipping her off and laughing. That was fun though. So I'll be extra hard in the bedroom. She full blushes out of embarrassment just remembering the deal. If he won, whatever. We finally got acquainted with the rest of the Jaegers and went to speak to the Emperor. When will you visit me? Death asks as I go back to my house. I don't know. Soon though, Jason says before walking off. Stopping in the middle of an alleyway. Hello Akame, I say, feeling said girl behind me. You killed my Fryan. Shut up, Jason says, sighing. Honestly, I didn't want to do this, but I have Karome. She widens her eyes. Explain. Jason gives a wry smile. Way too easy, little b asterisk 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 asterisk. I have her in my basement right now, and I'm using her to satisfy my sexual desires. Dodging a sword swipe, I continue. Of course. I could switch you guys. She clenches her sword. What do you want? Anything for my sister. Smirking, Jason gestures her to follow him. You are going to leave your Taigu at the door. Then once I claim you, I'll let your sister go completely free. Deal? She just nods and keeps walking slightly behind him until they get to the door. I'm home, Jason says, and Shiel and Mine appear in maid uniforms and are shocked to see Akame. Mine. Shiel. Akame seems just as shocked. Guys, go make some food. I need to explain things to Akame. More like manipulate the hell out of her into helping me with my plans. Sitting Akame on the bed, Jason takes off his coat and sits next to her. You want to know the truth about nitrate? She nods skeptically, looking at Jason. The reason the other girls are staying with me is because Najinda is actually lying to you all. He pauses and reads her reaction. Basically, the whole revolution is a lie. It's a ploy to get herself onto the emperor's seat. She wants power to control the whole capital, and she sacrifices you guys to get what she wants. Then stopping and reading her reaction, haha, even though it's not completely believable for her. She now has doubts about Najinda. It seems that my plans to be emperor of this world aren't too far off. Okay kids, this will be your final test. Kill each other, only the last one standing can be the best, the doctor says with a notepad and looks over at the kids, 7 in total, all of who had different training. All of them hesitate until they hear the sound of blood spraying from Alpha's neck. Standing there was codename Omega, the first artificial human who survived the project and also the only one who was trained to kill and manipulate people playing games, nicknamed Joker and given the name Jason for casual use. What the hell are you bastards standing around for? Don't tell me you guys got all sentimental, Jason says, taunting them. This gets them fired up and makes their moves sluggish. Sure enough, Delta lunges at him sloppily. Slash. A quick slash of a dagger easily ends her life, licking the blood off his knife. He looks down on the others with his black eyes and white hair. Useless, he mutters as fear darts dead into others. The doctor looks at Jason with a smile. Excellent, using fear to win psychologically before cutting them down is one of the most effective targets. All the other kids were cut down and the last one, Omorphia, who was trained to use seduction to kill her targets, smiles. It's easy to get a man to not kill you by offering your body. This way I'll take him down when he's distracted. She leans down. Jason. The doctor looks at her and smiles. A nice try. But I censored anything sexual and made sure he doesn't even know the difference between women and men, haha. Slash. Jason looks down at the bodies of his brothers and sisters and walks toward his room to get cleaned up. If the examiners saw him, they would see a single tear fall down his cheek. Sorry. Guys, but I need to survive. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard. Cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creator's thoughts. 7 comments 0 vote. Dream to be emperor, manipulating wave. The doctor followed Jason to his room, locking the door once they were both inside. I'm proud of you, Joker, he told him once they sat down. Proud. Jason says, looking up at the doctor, I just killed all my brothers and sister. Can I even be called human? He yells angrily, looking at the doctor. Slap. The doctor slaps Jason, making him stagger. You aren't human, dumbass. The doctor says, any sign of a kind man gone. You're just a tool that I created for the betterment of humanity. Nothing more, nothing less. Jason stands back up and looks like he's about to attack. Alenchos. The doctor screams, causing Jason to freeze and stand at attention. You see. The doctor says, putting down his notes. Just a simple tool that has no use to me unless you're under my control. Come with me, let's get rid of those emotions. 1 year after that, Jason had turned 13. He went on several missions in these years, but this mission is the one that gets him killed. Omega. The doctor's voice sounds out in a headset. Here, a monotone voice sounds out. This was Jason, dressed in all black and equipped with a katana and smoke grenades. Once you kill him, I'll finally be the king of the world. Don't mess this up. The doctor's voice sounds out again and warns him of failure. King. An emperor would be better, Jason thinks to himself, remembering how in Akame Ga kill how the emperor was useless unless you're dumb. Swoosh. Jason drops down, cutting down guards silently, then he quietly opens a window and charges all nearby entrances of the mansion with C4. There it is. Jason mutters, looking at a small device. This device was a mind controller, but not just any mind controller, it could control anyone on a worldwide scale. This device had been made by the doctor but taken away by the authorities when he tried to sell it to others. The doctor then started a program to create the perfect tool to get it back. Hey. A man in a tux spots Jason with the device. What are you? Ring. Jason points the device at the man and switches it on, gaining control. Kill everyone left alive inside the mansion, then kill yourself. Yes, sir, the man says and turns around. Joker. The doctor's voice once again sounds out. Did you find it? Yeah, Jason replies, still looking at the device. I'll be back soon. Then Jason walked out of the mansion that had been filled with dead bodies, taking the device with him. Boom. The charges exploded as Jason walled away. Yes. The doctor jumps up excitedly. Good job, Jason. Jason just nods and walks away to change, but not before stopping in front of his mom. Hey, Mom. I did it. Jason takes out a device with a red button on top. One more day. That same night, Jason was shot through the skull by the doctor. Dash. 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 What just happened? Jason asks himself, seeing all black. Is this a stupid simulation? He thinks to himself. Did I die? Jason says with a smile, you're listening, doctor, so I'll play along. Fake tears slide down his cheeks. Thank God. It's okay, my child. A voice booms out and Jason looks up, seeing an old man with a beard. Damn. They went way too far with this simulation, but Jason decides to play along. Hey, are you God? He asks nervously. If he's God, he would be able to read my thoughts. I can't wait to kill more people. Jason tests God by thinking terrible things in his mind. Yes, I'm God, the guy says, smiling, and proceeds to tell Jason he can reincarnate. Jason picks his wishes and disappears in a blink. Taking off a mask, the doctor appears with a smile. Haha, yes, Joker. I'm finally on top. And it's all because of you, so here is your gift, hehe. MMPH. Muffled yells come out from the side and the doctor goes over. Hello, God. Ready for today's torture, the doctor says with a smile. If I can break Jason, then I can break a god easily. Jason opens his eyes, remembering his dream. Whatever. I'll become emperor, then kill that fake god. Jason. You're awake. Mine comes into the room, seeing Jason and Akame in bed together. Oops, sorry. She says and runs out. Jason gets dressed and orders Akame to stay here while he goes to get her sister. We have our first mission today. Wave says as Jason walks in. Yeah, can't wait. But I heard that the Emperor being controlled. Jason says in a worried voice, out of all the Jaegers, you're the only one who is this easy to manipulate. What? Wave asks, starting to pay attention. I accidentally walked into a meeting between the Prime Minister and him, and he was giving him orders, like as if he was controlling him. Jason then starts to shake as if he was scared. They are going to start eliminating us after our mission. And you're first in the list. He finally gets it all out now. Act like a hero, dumbass, and get me one step closer to that god. And no, that can't be right. Wave says, backing up. There's no way, right? But Jason doesn't really lie. Wave looks around paranoid. Hey. I'm not feeling so well, so I'm going home, please tell the general, he says quickly and leaves the room running into Karome. What's with him? She asks sitting down and opening her cookie bag. He was talking about betraying the Empire. So I told him if he said it again I'll tell Esdeath, so he ran away. Jason says with a concerned expression looking at Karome, you're brainwashed into loyalty by the Empire. This won't be too hard for you to tell a superior. What? Karome says getting up, we should tell someone before he escapes. She says and also leaves. Looking out the window with a smirk, Jason scratches the mark on his wrist. A mark he had carved into himself when he first became fully aware of what was going on. It was an omega symbol with a carved smile through it. Can we get an F in the chat for God? Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story? Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 12 comments, 0 vote. Wave's death. Budo. Sitting in a room was Wave as he was in a torture device in front of Esdeath. Why would you want to betray the Empire? She asks looking at him with icy eyes. Wave widens his eyes and starts struggling. No. I swear. I was just going to get some of my belongings, he says desperately. Jason stands off to the side with a fake concerned look. Quiet. Now tell me, do you have any accomplices? She asks again. Wave starts to tear up. I shouldn't bring Jason into this. He was just trying to warn me. No. I was trying to betray the Empire. I hate you sleaze bags and I'm plotting with Night Raid to take you guys down. That's as far as he gets before his right side turns to ice. Esdeath then looks at the remainder of the Jaegers. Clean this up, she says and walks away. Jason follows trying to hide his smile. Don't you think that was a little much? He asks as they turn a corridor. It had to be done. Anyone who tries to betray me, I mean the Empire, must be dealt with swiftly, she says without stopping her walk, and they end up at her bedroom door. Esdeath. Jason smirks and gets closer. If you wanted to bring me to your bed, you have to take me to dinner first. Esdeath gets a ready hue in her cheeks. Well, why not have me for dinner? She says, grabbing his arm and going into the room. Being pushed on the bed didn't sit well with Jason, so he quickly flipped over to make her be on the bottom. I'm the dominant one, remember? He asks in a slightly annoyed tone. Esdeath smiles and puts her hand on his cheek. Then be the dominant one. Leaning forward and kissing her lips, Jason smiles. Like actually smiles, not some cunning bees. No full-on happiness, like what the F asterisk. Dash. 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 Anyway, Jason cups her breasts in his hands. It seems you filled out over the years, he says with a smile. Why Esdeath moans at his touch. There was still a part of her that didn't want to let him be the dominant one, but she pushed it down and let him have his way with her. Stripping down until they were both bare, they once again go back to kissing. Two sets of hands explore each other's bodies, while Jason's spies take care of the background work. Hey. ISN. It a bit early to be this wet. I've barely touched you. Jason said as stuck a finger in Esdeath's pussy, causing her to jolt and him to smirk. The cold, tight feeling he got when he moved his finger was enough for his imagination to force his dick to stand up immediately. I'm not sure about these feelings. But it's good. Esdeath said, holding the back of his head as she kissed him deeply, trying to get her mind off the feeling of being touched by Jason. Heating up so suddenly when her body was always so cold gave an even more intense feeling, almost as if Jason could flip her switch with just a few strokes of his finger. Part of her didn't like being handled so easily, almost as if she was a slut. Then there was the part of her that loved it, and wanted to relish in the feeling of being dominated. This part of her was small. But it grew larger as Jason continued his assault, this time with his tongue as she gripped the back of his hair. Don't. Esdeath said quietly as she looked up at the ceiling, feeling pleasure for the first time due to being strong enough to not have to be sold off or used by people in the Empire. If she'd known it was gonna feel this good, she might have done it earlier. Don't what? Don't do this. Jason said, grabbing her arms and forcing them down as he plunged his erect dick straight into her, causing her to arch her back and moan in pleasure. In the next second, due to the feeling of being dominated and also the earlier feeling of pleasure, Esdeath came for the first time in her life. Even with all that stamina. You're laid down looking all tired. Jason thought of letting her rest, but, ultimately his lust won as he flipped her tired form over and aimed once again for her pussy, this time from the back. What are you on? Esdeath moaned sharp KY as she was penetrated again, this time even deeper than before. Jason breathed out as he thrust in her cold, tight slippery pussy that gripped him at each thrust, a feeling of being sucked in overflowing his body. It only took a few more minutes for Jason to start thrusting harder and faster, indicating that he was getting closer to a climax. Jason grabbed Esdeath from behind and stuck a finger in her mouth, causing the feeling of domination to overload her senses as Jason completely used her body to fulfill his desires. After coming once he then, not caring anymore about how she felt, and she, not caring anymore about how tired she was either, Jason indulged in Esdeath's body until morning, all while Wave's dead corpse was thrown in a trash fill somewhere. Leaning on a tree and smiling was Beta, who long ago had his family killed by Jason. At the time Beta wanted revenge and had trained for years to kill Jason. Just this year he had gone through with his assassination attempt, and as you can see he failed. He was beaten senseless and lost all sense of self. Jason had taken the opportunity to make him his spy. Right now Beta is talking to a yellow-haired woman leaning on another side of the tree. If you can take him down, my employer will be able to take care of the rest. He told Leonie. Why does killing a simple priest start a revolution against the Empire? She asks skeptically. This priest acts like he is a believer but actually he is a spy for honest. If you can kill him things will go smoothly, he replies and tosses a bag of gold then vanishes. Jason. Esdeath screams as Jason thrusts inside her faster and faster until she finally comes. Even after she climaxes however Jason isn't done yet and flips her over, you know. I'm not sure what it is, but doing this with you is different from others, Jason says before positioning himself to take her from behind. Others. Esdeath tries to say before abruptly stopping from getting plowed from behind. Harder. She screamed while gripping the sheets. I'm coming, Jason says and buries himself into Esdeath. Ah. They both lay on each other panting. Well Esdeath is panting, Jason is fine. Walking away from the room after a fun night with Esdeath Jason meets Beta and gets the news of the priest. Excellent, he says hearing that the priest is dead. The truth of the matter is that General Budo is the only obstacle stuck in his way, and it just so turned out that this priest was actually Budo's last living family member, so Jason took it upon himself to help this priest meet his cousin once again. In the afterlife that is. On top of the roof, Jason sees Budo leaving the capital in haste, having received news of his cousin's fate. General Budo rode 3 nights to make it to the south to check if the rumors his cousin was dead were true. Walking back to his horse with a long face tears fall out as he falls on his knees. Why? Why do all my family have to die? He asks himself not noticing the man coming close to him. Who knows? Budo looks up and sees Jason standing there in casual clothes. Maybe it's because you're such a bastard that they are forced to pay for your sins. What are you doing here? Budo asks wiping his tears and standing tall over Jason. Jason sighs and leans against the horse. Well I heard you left the capital in a hurry, thought maybe there was an attack somewhere. But seeing you here crying on the floor was very enjoyable, Jason says with a smile. Budo clenches his fists as electricity statics around him. Go back to the capital right now. Or you might not have another chance. Jason stops leaning and looks up into Budo's eyes. Ha 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 ha, wiping a tear that escaped he looks back at him. The chances of me getting another chance to leave are very high from where I'm standing. Boom. Budo slams into Jason with all of his force, aiming to kill him. Wow, Jason says as he jumps up to eye level with Budo, your way to slow asshole. Slash. Jason casually slashes down cutting Budo, and the whole country in the south along with it. Oops. Well maybe the survivors will migrate to the capital. Walking away from Budo's dead body he smiles and looks up. I know you're watching false god. The god of Akame Ga kill is currently chained to a wall and watches the doctor play with divine artifacts. I know you're watching false god, he hears in his head and looks around. Jason. God smiles and looks at his trusty companion that he's had since the day he was given a chance to reincarnate, Pierce. Elios, he says quietly as the sword slashes through the chains and flies toward the doctor. Huh. The doctor hits the sword away. Oh man. You need to calm down and let me take full control of this realm. The doctor screams madly. God gives a sadistic smile while facing the doctor. I regret bringing you to the divine realm, but I'm so glad that you're still a weak loser. Alenchos. The doctor yells in fright then calms down seeing God stop. Haha, even when you're a god, you aren't out of my control. Get back in the cell and chain yourself. Joker. Jason. You need to break the control, God thinks as he walks back and chains himself with a furious expression on his face. Jason is God. And he can still be controlled. Or maybe this is one of his many games to play when he's bored. Smile with horns. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. The GodSage creator's thoughts. 12 comment. War. Crash. On top of the castle stands the Jaegers, along with General Liz, as they look out past the gates. This is so annoying, Jason mutters as he looks at the revolutionary soldiers that are crashing against the gates. Soldiers ready. Liz yells and her squadron gets in position. Damn it. I had everything planned out to become emperor today. Ow, there's a war. Jason looks at the front lines of the revolutionary army and sees a white-haired woman along with the remaining members of Night Raid. It seems Najenda couldn't wait anymore, Esteth says following Jason's line of sight. Nodding his head he looks over at the girls, they are staying hidden and away from the fight unless he calls them, this way he can turn the tide of the war if things get out of hand. By the end of this, I'll be emperor, Jason thinks to himself while summoning Helios, forget waiting, slash them Helios. He yells and swings down slashing some of the groups. Ah. Soldiers from both aides start screaming and running at each other intent on killing. Whoosh. Jason jumps off the rooftop and into the middle of the fighting, cutting down revolutionary soldiers left and right. It's Captain Jason. He's worried for us. The men and women get their spirits up seeing Jason sacrifice himself to fight with them, let's lend aid. Jason smiles as he hears them, dumbasses. This is for my own benefit, nothing more nothing less, he thinks to himself with a glimmer in his eyes. Esteth watches Jason jump down to fight with the foot soldiers. I'll go too, she says and hops down sliding on ice to fight soldiers. As she puts them up with her rapier, she has to dodge a punch from Najenda's new imperial arm Susanoo. Hello, traitor, did you come back to beg for forgiveness? Esteth asks looking at Najenda. Esteth. You know that the empire is corrupt, and it's my job to end that corruption, Susanoo, use your trump card. She yells and Susanoo starts to transform. He stands tall, slightly floating with a large ring on his back, he has his core in the middle of his chest and white hair flowing in the wind. Ooh, an organic imperial arms, huh? Esteth says looking at Susanoo, I'll tear it apart, she says and summons a large ice meteor, not minding the fact that she will hit her allies with it also. As it comes down Susanoo jumps up and crushes the ice to pieces and looks at her with cold eyes, you are strong. But I must defeat you. He yells and jumps at her causing both of them to clash with each other, image in comments. Akame looks out on the battlefield with cold eyes, I can't believe they would betray us. She says to Mine and Shiel who are beside her. Yeah, it's a good thing Jason rescued us. Mine says with a slight blush on her cheeks as she remembers what Jason had done to her before the war started. Yes, we are very lucky, Shiel adds. Justice. Saryu comes onto the battlefield intent on killing Leonie who is fully transformed into her Taigu, merging with it, image in comments. Kuro. She screams and Kuro bites down on her arm, and out comes a large lance, ah. She screams and attacks Leonie. Dodging Leonie scratches her side, we should have killed you at that time. You're lucky we were short on members, she says thinking back to when it was only Lubbock and her who could go on the mission, as Akame had disappeared and the rest had been killed. You'll pay for what you did to Captain Ogre, Saryu says and swings the lance again swatting Leonie aside, this is for you Captain Ogre. Chelsea looks out on the battlefield in awe as she sees the Empire's forces can hold their own against the Revolutionary Army. She had stayed with them ever since her team had been massacred, how can there still be so many powerhouses in the Empire? She asks herself. Then noticing something strange she looks around, where is that Captain Jason guy? Huff huff. Prime Minister Honest runs down the hall away from his attacker, why are you doing this? Is it more money you want? He yells as Jason breaks through the hall chasing him. Jason tackles him down and puts Helios at his throat, I don't need more money. If I'm going to run an empire I can't have a bastard trying to control things behind the scenes. Honest, your game is over and I won. Jason says with a sadistic smile on his face as he slashes Honest's throat. Standing up he starts walking toward the Emperor's safe room, let's play a new game. Saryu is broken and Kuro's core has been destroyed as they both lay fallen down in front of Leonie, you aren't strong enough to defeat me, she says and brings down her claws. Am I strong enough? Akame appears in front of Leonie with her hand on the hilt of Murasama. Hey Akame. Leonie says backing away, we thought you were dead. We thought. Well, you were wrong. I just found out the truth of the matter, and how you guys were going to use us to take over the Empire and have Najenda run it for herself. Leonie gets a confused look, what? Akame, listen. No. I'm tired of being lied to. Jason told me everything and he even reunited me with my sister, I'll trust him more than traitors that were trying to use me for their own gain. Akame yells and rushes forward ready to end Leone's life. That damn bastard. Leonie thinks to herself, knowing she can't fight Akame, she just stands still and lets the blade cut her in half. Akame. She says as she bleeds out from the curse. You are strong. But I was stronger than you. You died because you were weak, Esdeath said with her rapier through the chest of Susanoo. Susanoo used the rest of my life force. Najanda yells at him but he just shakes his head. No. Live Najanda. I had a fun time with Night Raid, he says smiling as he dies in front of Esdeath's feet. The war is over. Bow down or lose your life. Jason's voice sounds out as he holds the Emperor in one hand. This fanfic is almost over. Only about 5 more chapters left. Hope you enjoyed the chapter. Creation is hard, cheer me up. Vote for me. Like it. Add to library. Have some idea about my story. Comment it and let me know. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 10 comments 0 vote. Emperor Jason, Ascent, the end. So my estimate was wrong. This will be the last chapter. I had fun writing it and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Now enjoy the final chapter, mongrels. Says that in a Gilgamesh voice. Opening the door to the Emperor's safe house, Jason smiles. Emperor, hurry. The revolutionaries have made it into the castle. What? The child Emperor doesn't second guess Jason at all, and proceeds to jump into his arms. Let's go from here, Jason. Jason's face forms into a sneer. Yes, let's go. Straight to hell. The Emperor's eyes widen as a sword appears stabbed through his heart. Yeah. Son. He says with tears in his eyes. Jason smiles warmly. I won't say I'm sorry. But I do wish that I didn't have to kill you for my plan to work. The Emperor trembles in his arms. Was I a bad EMP? Error, he says while the light in his eyes dims. No, you were a great Emperor, now go to sleep. You'll be able to see your parents again, haha, Jason says to the Emperor. I'm glad. The Emperor stops breathing and closes his eyes with a smile on his face. Man. It's harder for me to kill kids. I actually feel sorta bad, Jason thinks to himself before shrugging and dragging the Emperor behind him like a ragdoll. Akame looks away from the dead body of Leonie and starts crying, just because I did it. It doesn't mean this is any easier. Akame. Kurome says to the side while blood flows from a shrapnel wound that came off of Seryu's attacks. Kurome. Akame runs over as she falls down. No. No. She screams and cries as Kurome loses her life in her arms. He promised. She thinks to herself and looks at the battlefield with crazy eyes. Where is that bastard? Meanwhile, Mine and Shiel are being held down by revolutionary soldiers as they are forced to look at one of the leaders of the army. Why did you betray us? The man screams in their faces, kicking away their taigu. You betrayed us first. Mine screams back, spitting at his feet. Just kill us already. Jason. The war is over. Jason's voice resonated throughout the battlefield. The Emperor is dead. Everyone looks towards his voice and sees a dead Emperor in his hands. He throws it out in the middle of the battlefield and takes out Ilios. Now. Bow down to your new Emperor. He yells with confidence. Everyone freezes in shock. Jason. You wanted to be Emperor. Liz thinks to herself while staring at Jason. What? Emperor. That bastard used me. Akame thinks to herself and grabs Murasama. Emperor. If it's him then it should be fine, both Shiel and Mine think. Haha, so this was his game. Does that mean I'll be Empress? Esdeath thinks while looking at the dead Najanda in her hands. Never. Some revolutionaries charge forward only to be cut down by Jason. Jason. You bastard. Akame yells and charges forward, catching Ilios with Murasama. You used me. She says through gritted teeth. Don't think too much. You aren't the first one I've used, Jason says with a smile, pressing down on Murasama, but unfortunately for you. You're no longer useful to me, Ilios. He yells and cuts through Murasama, slashing through Akame. Akame drops her sword with a shocked look on her face. Bastard. She says and falls back dead. Is there anyone else? Jason says, not smiling anymore. If not, then bow to your new Emperor. He screams. The first to bow is Liz, then Esdeath and the Night Raid girls. One by one people bow down to their new Emperor, and the ones who didn't bow were quickly slashed to pieces. All hail Emperor Akira, and Empress Akira, the priest said with a fearful look as he saw the two demons hold hands and watch the people of the capital bow down to their new leaders. Liz stood off to the side with a tearful look. He's all grown up, she thinks to herself while fanning her tears. He's with her. Mine thinks as she looks over to Shiel, who is just watching the ceremony with her normal blank face. Esdeath is the one who stood next to Jason. Jason chose her to be Empress since, besides Liz, she's the only other person that he cares about. Jason went on to conquer any neighboring countries and cities in the name of the empire, eventually claiming the whole world for himself. Now 20 years later, an adult-looking man sits at his throne with a bored look. Why the hell did I think this would be entertaining? Jason. Kako is wondering where you are during his birthday. A more mature Esdeath comes to sit on Jason's lap and says, talking about their oldest child. Tell him I'm working, Jason says with a smile. How's Liz? She's okay. You should visit her though, she misses her little brother. Esdeath teases and leans her head into his shoulder. Scowling, Jason replies, I'm not little. I'm so damn bored. Are there any countries that are rebelling? Shaking her head with a smile, you rooted them all out before they had a chance, haha. Sigh, Jason wonders if he'll die bored. Hello, a voice sounds out and Jason's setting changes to a dark room. Hello. You've changed my world quite a bit. So as punishment you'll have to work it off as the god of this world. What the hell? A god of this world? Please explain, mysterious voice. I'm the world will of the Ga kill verse. I'm not sure how you reincarnated here without my approval, but you'll have to work off your debt, and with those words, Jason flashes away again, this time in a completely white room. In the middle of the room were panels that said hell, heaven, reincarnate, crap. Did I really become a god? Jason then smiles. I wonder if I can get him here. Searching in the system, Jason comes across the name he needs and summons him there. Hello, doctor, Jason said with a sadistic smile. Joker. No, that can't be right, you're older. And also I just killed you, the doctor said, then widens his eyes. I see. Ha 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 ha. Frowning, Jason gets confused. Why are you laughing? You're at my mercy, bastard. Finishing laughing, the doctor smiles at Jason. You summoned me as my alive body. Not as a soul. And I still have the device. He says to pull out the mind control device and pressing a button. Freezing up, Jason widens his eyes. Now tie yourself up. Let's play a new game, Joker. Jason obliges and goes into the corner, still not able to talk. Crap. Crap 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 crap. I messed up big time, Jason thinks to himself as the doctor figures out the controls on the panels. A younger Jason stands there looking around, apparently not seeing them. The doctor presses another button on the device, causing his appearance to change. It's okay, my child. The disguised doctor says to Jason and proceeds to use the panels to reincarnate him into the Akame Ga kill world. Okay, God, time for some torture, hee. Wait. This has happened before. Jason's head starts to feel like it's splitting as he hears the voice of 16 trillion different versions of him and gets the memories of each one. I see. Finally, we're out of this shitty loop. Jason smiles and breaks the control of the device on his mind. The game's over, doctor. It was fun, but it's time to go to hell. The doctor clenches his head as the memories rush into his head as well, then he looks up with a sad smile. Oh. I see, so that's how it is. Have a good life, my son. Or God life. Do gods live? Whatever. Bye, Jason. The doctor says as Jason presses hell on the panel. Man. 16 trillion lifetimes of this game. It was pretty fun, Jason says to himself looking at the empty space. I'm bored. The end. I hope you enjoyed this short fanfic. Who knows, I might make another Akame Ga kill fanfic later on, but not now. I have a few fanfics that are going on right now, but they aren't as good as this one. I'll be releasing 2 new ones soon. The first is a Marvel fanfic where he is reincarnated as a Greek god with a system to help him through godhood. It will explore deeper into the world and also deep into mythologies and other legends until eventually making it through to the MCU movies. The other one is a fanfic in Go in the Age of Gods. This one is where he will be that world's Lucifer. He will have a system called the Legend System with the goal of making a name for himself. Go ahead and check those out when it comes out. And thank you for reading New Life in Akame Ga Kill, author out Scissor. The end. I hope you enjoyed reading. TheGodSage creators' thoughts. 24 comments, 0 vote. Hey random weirdos that actually like this FIC. Hey well, I just want to ask. Should I do a rewrite for this? This was kinda my first FIC and now that I'm better at writing, I think it deserves some justice. If you are here for some reason and still have this in your library, tell if I should make a reboot. If enough people want it then I'll do so. 15 comments, 0 vote. Okay so. You guys seem to say this one would be better.